Yeah, and so what I was saying though. Oh, hey, are we on? Hey everybody, this is Johnny Beane. Welcome back to the Saturday Night Late Show. Actually, this would be the first one.
And welcome back after 6 months. Oh, I gotta pause it. I gotta pause it.
Oh no.
Okay, so I got it in time.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, welcome to the debut of the Saturday Night Late Show, starring Jay Hannon.
Hi. I'm Quentin James is watching Battlestar Galactica, and I'm asking him what season he's watching. So yeah, great show.
And Caleb Nerd Halen Rapoport.
What is up, everybody?
What's up, man?
I should have worn my Nerd Halen shirt, man.
It's all right, I wore it for you.
Okay, good. Get me hung up in my closet because I can't put my own clothes away. You know, I'm the type of dude that, like, the laundry's done, it gets folded and put on top of the dryer until after I shower the next day and go, okay, this is a cool shirt to wear today.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you.
I don't like putting any clothes away.
Yeah, I've got a chair that the laundry sits on, and it's there for just weeks. You dig through it, you find two. I bet you I'm wearing two socks that don't even match.
So I can't do that.
Yeah, my socks don't even match.
And you didn't even know?
No.
Until you looked. You actually had to look to make sure that, like, yeah, I didn't even notice while I was putting them on. I just grabbed two socks. Now, are they two different lengths?
No, they're both from the same pack. You know how, like, you go to Target and you buy a pack of socks and they're like different, like maybe like 3 pairs and they're different designs?
Yeah.
This is 2 different designs from that same pack.
Oh, well, at least they're the same sock. Because if you had like one no-show and then one, James Worthy tube sock on, like, that would be something.
I've done that. Yeah.
Whoa, pulling the big James reference.
James Worthy. Yep. The goggles.
I'll just take 2 socks. I don't. You guys know me. I don't care what my guitars look like.
Michael Cooper, actually. He was the one with the high socks.
Yeah, they all had high socks.
And little shorts.
Yeah. The ones where you had to watch out for bombs away.
Bombs away. A squeaker. Balls away.
Yep. All right, good night, everybody.
Yeah. See you later.
All right. Saturday night.
Yeah. So we got GTV, Guitar TV is in the house. We got Jimmy T, Todd, a.k.a. Soda Pop, thrash metal and fun riffs. Sean Zimmerman, Quentin James, Pris 46, Janice, Mad Dog. Yeah, Mad Dog, it's Hey Nerds Halens.
What? Somebody took Nerd Halen? What?
He said he always says Hey Nerds.
Oh, okay.
But we got Nerd Halen in the house. John Parson, John BL, Matthew Stewart. So I think yeah.
Cool.
Amanda Coombs.
Is it Combs or Coombs?
We're still at this.
Put that up for us, Amanda.
I think it's Ben Combs and Amanda Coombs. Maybe that's what it is. Brendan B. Butt Cheeks.
Yeah, Brendan Butt Cheeks.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Look at that.
But they're not as well, I can't say that. I can't say they're not as cool because they are. That's super original. But
I hope they're not scratch and sniff.
Let me try. Let me see. I also have these ones. Handy dandy.
Yeah. Those are classics. I only have a few of those left.
Dude, I can't bring myself, and these are, as I use the orange Tortex, the 60s, which are the exact same picks as these. I can't bring myself to use one of your picks because I don't want to ruin them. Because I know in 5-10 years, these things are going to be worth a fortune.
Oh, let's hope.
I already shredded one of them that I actually used.
But did it pay?
Yeah, I mean, I lucked out because I picked 60 on just a a whim because I'm usually at a 73, and I picked the 60 just because I thought it might speed things up just a tad, and it's the best pick I've ever played, and I own it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, hold on, we got to talk about that for a split second, because which picks did you use before you got these ones?
I used the yellow Tortex.
Okay, so you've used Tortex for
I've been
a long time.
a yellow guy for a long time.
Okay, so it's not like you were using, you know.
I was the yellow Dunlop Tortex for 25 years. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure you've tried different picks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I even like I remember like 25 years ago I used to play those little jazz picks, you know, the little black nylon ones.
The kid picks.
Yeah. But no, this is I'm stoked.
You know what I've noticed, and I've said this before, but every time I mention these picks, Nesdal, I could see it in his face, you know. But it just there's an extra attack and percussiveness that these picks give you that normal picks don't. And I've tried over the, you know, since I've been on the show with you guys, I've tried a bunch of different styles of picks, you know, and I just every time I play them for a few days, I'm like, this is actually really cool. I like this. And then I'll grab the Tortex and be like, oh, you know, it's just right back. And I can't stop using them. They're great.
Right on, John BL. Right on, bud. That's so awesome. Yeah,
and I tried the sharp tipped version of them, which are the crap. Ellie destroyed. All the picks that are on my desk are like all over the floor and everything. But they make the Jazz 3 kind of like full size version of these. On the backs, it has like the 3, and they're the same pick, but they have the sharper tip. And I used them for a little bit, and I was like, I'm loving these. But then I felt like for my rhythm playing, these the way, I guess, the angle that I hold the pick when I pick, you know,
changes dramatically. Just
yeah.
I mean, you can tell when it rubs off just a little. So
oh yeah.
Imagine you know, a little quarter inch of it, but yeah, there's something about the texture. It just feels good on in my fingers. Like, and I've tried all kinds of picks, and I keep coming back to this one. So,
yep.
But oh, I got a question here. What's Caleb's take on shredding pays in my neighborhood? Look, I'm not a shredder, and I never thought I was. When I went to MI in '87, I was in a jungle of shredders. There were so many guys.
You're in the jungle, baby.
Literally. And so many people who could sweep and arpeggios up the yang, and I mean, it was crazy how fast these guys. I sat in a room with Paul Gilbert and 4 other players. That was one of my private lessons during the day. You know, every like couple days, you'd go into a little room with 4 other guitar players, and Paul Gilbert would walk in, and you would just, you know, ask him stuff, and then he'd have one thing he'd try to show you that day, and it was crazy, and I just couldn't keep up, and I didn't want to. I thought it was ruining my style. You know, I was really like, my style, you know, like so I didn't want to become one of these processed MI guitar players that they were turning out, which were all these shredders. So I've kind of stayed away from that shredding thing. You know, there's definitely some fast things I do, but I'm cheating. I'm not barely picking. It's all left hand, you know. So
at the same time, a lot of that stuff, when you hear a lot of these licks, I mean, all you have to do is type into YouTube sometimes, like type in easy licks that sound hard or something.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of it. I'm not taking anything away from Nuno, because he's one of the best guitar players. Rhythm, he's like an Eddie Van Halen in my opinion. He's like so great at rhythm and so great at lead and solos.
He's a great musician that plays guitar.
He's just phenomenal at everything he does music wise. But a lot of his licks, there's a lot of like, you know, open string pull off stuff that throws that extra thing. Like, what the hell is that? But then when you're doing it, you're like, oh, this isn't actually as hard as it sounded, even though it is still tricky. But
right,
You know, you can do certain things, you know.
For sure. No, and you know, Eddie broke all the rules. He played stuff that wasn't even in key, and you know, but he made it sound good. So,
Jason Wade, I can't, having a hard time tagging you because I'm trying to hit the asterisk or whatever the hell it is. It's not even. It's a what the hell? Well, you can't get tagged. I'm sorry. Thanks. Awesome shirt. I know. Thank you.
that is a cool shirt.
Actually, if you just type his name, just regular, it'll probably be tagged anyway.
See if it does.
Try that. Yeah, Jason, let us know if you're if it's an orange.
I don't think it's gonna be because he has the whatever the hell they are. The
Well, I've had people mention me and just say like Johnny and like Beane, like somewhere else, and it shows up for me.
Well, here's the moment of truth. Where'd you find the stars? I have an American keyboard. Maybe that's why. I think was that it?
You can copy. You can copy different.
What is the star?
You can copy and paste stuff.
It is just the asterisk,
and put it right into.
On the keyboard, it looks different than what that is, but still, it doesn't pop up, right? Does it? Yeah, it does. Okay. You got to take 2 steps. You just can't put one letter. You got to put the star and the J for it to pop up. It's one too many steps, man.
Jay, people were complaining about, finding your channel. Oh, like they couldn't find. Jason, what you can do is you can actually, well, I don't. There's a feature. Look and see if you can do it, where you can change your web address for YouTube, and you can put like a specific like name in there, and you just use that.
What?
Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense. Huh? EJ's Guitars. Who's more interesting to listen to, Neil Young or EVH?
You know, I was going to laugh out loud, but I'm not going to be a jerk.
The truth is, it depends. If you're asking me, it depends on my mood. You know, I like to listen to a lot of different stuff, and
well, it depends on what you like. I mean, you know, I like Eddie Van Halen more than I like Neil Young. So, and it's a landslide of how much more I like Eddie than Neil Young. So, you know, my father might feel a different way.
They're different styles. If I'm in the mood to listen to Neil Young and his style, I'll listen to that.
How about Neil Old? Hey, you know, when I saw Van Halen in '93 at the Orange County Speedway in Middletown, New York, which that video is on YouTube, they played "Rockin' in a Free World."
Yep, that was their closer, right? Wasn't it?
I don't remember if it was or not, but I just remember them playing it. And then, of course, the next day I'm sitting there. It was either the next day or soon after, learning the chords to that song. You know, the Van Halen way. But
same here, And I really think that's where Eddie got that main riff for "Don't Tell Me" was from covering the way that they would start "Rockin' in the Free World." It was almost the same type of technique, and I'm shaking my desk.
Yeah, you're shaking the hell out of that.
it's you know.
Hey, I've seen a lot of people saying hi everybody. I can go scroll through here, but
it was in the background grabbing a whiskey back there. Who was that?
Whiskey.
That's my 17-year-old.
Hey, what's going on? Get out of the freezer. Kitchen phone.
There's the kitchen.
Yeah, G-Man. It's gonna be great to see you at the NAMM show, dude.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Gonna be great to see everybody at the NAMM show. Hey, John, I copied you last night. I put up my my Intune guitar picks.
Yeah, I saw that
fishing expedition, and I just caught the fish. They just reposted, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Awesome, man. Yeah, they're great, man. They're I've been using their picks since 2007.
Yeah, you told me about them before I even knew you guys. I think I like messaged you, and I was like, well, "Hey, where do you get your picks done?"
Yeah, that's how we met.
Right.
That's how we met. Was you asking me where I get my guitar picks?
Yeah.
And I said In Tune. Yeah.
Bro, where you get your picks, bro?
Hey,
where's the bra?
Yes.
EJ, thank you, man.
Clayton, you're right. Next Saturday night, he will be 64. Crazoid.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Next Saturday. Awesome.
Yep. Yes, I'm going to be there, G. Thursday, Friday, and I'll be there Saturday night for the Ultimate Jam night.
For something.
NAMM Jam. And something might happen there. So I'm not playing in it, but somebody is.
Oh, so now the rumors are gonna start.
All right, well, we can just talk about it because it's already listed. It's already listed. The list for the Ultimate Jam night at the NAMM show, within the first 5 names.
Wait. Caleb.
Yeah. A drum roll.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll just put it up. I'll just show the picture here. So, hang on. This is crazy, you guys. Really crazy. So I don't know if you can see this. Oops. But that's the list of all the players. I know you can't see the name.
No.
Flotsam and Jetsam? Yes.
But look at that list, right? There's like 75 people. And then when you zoom in, there is, right in the first 5 names, there's these names. Can you read those names?
We got Steve Vai, we got Billy Sheehan, we got Greg Bissonette.
So you guys can draw your own conclusions about what might happen that night. But I have it under good authority that something's going to happen.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. And it might be going crazy. So don't be shy, boy. There might be some bumping and grinding down Tobacco Road.
And if you like the New York Yankees, Rose.
Because it might be ladies' night in Buffalo. I might have to hit you with my elephant gun. Yeah. If they play Elephant Gun, oh my God.
If they play that song, you're gonna be that excited. It'll be just like Living in Paradise.
Wrong record. Anyway.
So what?
Okay.
Same band.
True.
I needed more songs, man. We were running out, you know.
Well, I know they didn't write that one, and
I know Vi didn't like it.
Yeah.
Stack of Pound Cake says, "Hey, you know, grab a hot dog and a shake and enjoy the show." Because it's gonna be damn good.
Tina ain't lying.
Yep. And you know Stevie Vai is gonna play that guitar right down to his knuckle bones. Wait,
I gotta grab the song list now. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm a little giddy about it. So
like a little schoolboy.
Oh, it could be good. Could be good. So what else? What were we talking? We were talking about guitar picks.
You know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen? The first time they tried this, they let too many people in, and the fire marshal had to come close the show.
Yep.
And how many does this venue hold? What do you remember the number that you see on the wall?
I don't know, but I'm thinking it's probably around 1,000 to 1,500 in that room.
Okay, so you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be 1,500. Caleb is gonna be 1,501. Walk through the door. Like, the show is canceled. Nerd Halen ruined it.
Nerd Halen ruined it.
Oh man, Jason Wade, yeah, dude, send me send that to me, dude. That's awesome. He's asking about the Yamaha THRX amp. And then he said there's a
I thought you were going to say motorcycle. It could be, right?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what a motorcycle is.
Oh,
the THRX, is that a motorcycle?
No, but you're like Yamaha.
Yamaha.
Is that a motorcycle?
They make motorcycles, yeah.
I know. I'm just yeah.
It's like I never wanted to get a Mitsubishi car because I know they make TVs too. It's always kind of strange. And microwave.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny? I got to tell you a story about Yamaha motorcycles, right? So my dad used to be a big Harley guy, okay? And this is so stupid, but it makes me laugh to this day. So this is probably around 2000, maybe 1999, 2000. My dad still had a Harley. He ended up having to get rid of it because he blew both of his shoulders out and he can't like lift his arms past like here. So if he were to ride a motorcycle, you know, whatever.
Is it because he rode a chopper? So
it might be, man. He had a chopper back in the day. And then when he got married to my mother, he had to sell it for furniture. And I was like, dude, Dad, you just should have put the chopper in the living room. Like, what are you doing, man?
Oh my
You
God.
don't need a couch. Keep the motorcycle. So anyway.
Talk about a gelding, right?
Yeah. He sold out.
This couch was a Harley.
And then you don't want to get rid of the furniture because you sold the Harley to get the furniture.
Right.
You know?
So it gets all ratty over the years. Like, wait a minute, that stuff's important.
So anyway, around the year 2000 or whatever, Jeannie's father, he had this old Yamaha motorcycle in their garage, and he like, you know, rebuilt it or whatever and fixed it up and stuff. So I was over there one day. He's like, oh yeah, you know, this is before like my dad and Jeannie's father really like, you know, became close or whatever. So I remember he was like, oh yeah, you know, your dad, I know, rides a Harley. Maybe me and him can go out one day, go ride. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll tell him. So I go home. I'm like, hey, I was BSing with Jeannie's father today. And you know, he's like saying how you know, you got the bike, he's got a bike, he fixed it up or whatever. You know, you guys go ride, and he's like, what kind of bikes he got? Oh, some Yamaha. I'm not going riding with a guy who rides the Yamaha. And to this day, it's still a joke, man. Like, it's just so funny how Harley guys, it's just like, they're not riding with that, you know?
Let me thank Jason Wade. That's really cool, man. He said, I haven't used my Nerd Halen picks. They are mementos for me. Thanks for sending them, bro. Of course. Thank you for supporting. It's awesome. I'm really excited. I hope this thing gets really, really good so I can come visit everybody. That's the dream, is to bring it to you guys and like, you know, play in some town and someone comes up and says, I know you're from the Johnny Beane show. I think it would be the coolest thing ever. So let's hope we get there. Well, the Myrtle Beach House of Blues, it's like there's so many tribute bands playing nowadays, man. It's crazy. There's actually in March, there's a Van Halen tribute band coming there. Cool. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think Dave is actually friends with the guitar player. Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch, and I'm not trying to compete with any of them. You know, I think we're gonna do something a little different because I have a comedian as my lead singer, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be entertaining, and the band is unbelievable. So you know, it's very exciting. And the best part is I get to like share the whole building process with all of you guys, and because you know, you've watched the whole thing happen from like in my mind to where we are today, and hopefully in a few months when we launch, you know, boom, out of the gate. So,
well, Johnny, you know what's funny about this whole thing? But now that I'm thinking about it, right? It seems like when Steve Anderson went on his hiatus, that's what, because every time he'd be on, Caleb, what's new with Nerd Halen?
yep.
And it would be stagnant. Oh, I wish I could tell you something, Steve, but you know, we got a guy and then we lost a guy and then nothing's going on. Steve Anderson hasn't been on for a while, and Nerd Halen has been on a consistent rise.
Yeah. No, I'd love to go to Vancouver and play and have Steve come up, and that would be the coolest thing ever. You know, because like 2 of my guitars have his bridges in them, and you know, it's like he's part of it all, so it's great. I gotta go back in the chat. What do you mean, Amanda? I gotta read this.
You said you got to go back in the shower? What?
In the chat where Amanda says, I haven't either to Jason Wade, but for a totally different reason. What does that mean? You haven't used my picks. I don't know what that means.
Well, Jason Wade says if you go to Myrtle, the House of Blues, he'll drive down and see. He's only 2.5 hours away. And dude, you guys can stay at my house or whatever.
Awesome.
In my bed. I'll put Jeannie on the floor, you know.
I'm there.
We'll sleep head to toe. It's all right, you know.
I'm there.
But the middle still lines up.
We'll be never mind.
It's the creepiest thing you've ever said.
Well, it's a Seinfeld. It's from Seinfeld. Yeah.
Oh, Amanda just says because she can't play. That's why.
Okay. Well, we got to come to Canada. It sits on my dresser waiting.
on your hope chest.
That is awesome. Oh, the internet. I love it.
Yeah. Craziness, huh?
Yeah, it is crazy.
That devious laugh.
Hope chest.
Yeah. Remember that's in Back to the Future. You know?
Oh, my hope chest.
Where are my pants? Over there. On my hope chest. Where are my picks? On my hope chest.
Where are my Nerd Halen picks?
Hey, Brandon, you have no idea what went through my mind when I first read that. But I just remembered that they're picks.
Guitar picks.
Yeah, you spelled picks wrong, bud.
Oh, that's a good comment right there.
Nothing like some butt cheeks pictures. Oh, I think this is already the funniest episode of the show ever.
Oh man! Hey, Tessie Switch. Hey, man.
Is Tessie Switch going to be there?
Where?
I think so, right? He's going to join us after NAMM. He said Jada invited 45 people to stay at his house.
Yeah. Don't read that. Don't read that. Don't read it.
Don't read it out loud.
Don't read that. Don't read it. No. Yes. Tessie says yes. Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome, man.
Cool.
Tessie Switch. There he is, man.
Are you there Thursday or Friday?
I need one of those, man. I need one of those.
Let's all like make a plan to meet at the EVH booth at like between 11 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
On
that'd be great.
Thursday.
Between 11 and 12 a.m.
Yes, a.m., not at night.
You can't do that, can you?
At night?
Between 11 and 12 a.m.?
No, that's not possible. That's never
It's
possible.
not possible. It sounds cool.
Either way.
It's 25 hours.
Or between 11 and 12 p.m. You can't do that either.
I know.
Yeah, 25 hours.
That's a long, yeah.
That's not 1 hour. Yeah, that's 25. Yeah, I'll meet you between 11 and 12 p.m. And I'm thinking, okay, it's 1 hour, and it's
the huge window. Has anybody ever arrived for their flight and it was a.m. and not p.m.?
No.
Yeah, I did that once.
No way.
Yeah.
Did they look at? Were you early or late?
Oh, I was 12 hours late.
Oh.
Yeah, it was awful.
And were you on your way home, or were you?
It was something bad. It was a night over in sleeping in the airport kind of thing. So it's awful. Anyway, you can only do that once in your life.
I spent the night at LAX one time. Although I didn't sleep though, I just stayed up. Went and saw Kiss at down in Irvine, 1996. Flew down, saw the show, and then stayed up all night at LAX. And then, is he laughing? And then flew back in the next morning.
Irvine Meadows.
Irvine Meadows. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, are you laughing at this?
No, Brendan just sent me a text message. And I can't read it on here. I'll read part of it. He said, something, darn it. Show Caleb the pics, or have you talked about it? I'm on my phone. And then he said something else, and I can't repeat it.
Yeah, I saw the pics. They're cool. I asked if they were scratch and sniff.
Yeah, see? And thrash metal, do not play with me like that, man. I've gotten to the point where I don't have to like worry about that thing back there.
Whatever happened to the Pattinson guy, man? Biggest thing in the world, and then nothing.
Yeah, right?
Biggest thing in the world.
Yep.
In the world.
You know why? It's because they did, what, 3 or 4 of them. And you get pigeonholed into a certain character, a certain role, and no one wants to see you do anything else. Because he did a couple other movies. I remember when some movie came out, Jeannie was all pumped about it. And she saw it and she was like, I don't want to see him in that kind of role. I want to see him as
yeah.
The hell's his name in
I didn't watch any of that crap.
You know what? Don't take this the wrong way, anybody out there, but those movies could have been awesome if they were made for dudes. You know, they're totally made for chicks. I mean, they really are. But I remember, because I've seen all of them, because Jeannie, huge fan of the stuff when it came out. So I'd go to the theater with her, just like I expect her to go to the theater when, a Schwarzenegger movie comes out. Like, I want to see it. So, I don't know. I was just watching them. I'm like, man, if they did that this way, that'd be badass, But it always like the wimpy stuff, and I'm like, oh god.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I would wait 1,000 years for you.
What are those movies called that he's in?
What?
Twilight.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen them.
Sub-Zero. No, what is it? What did he call him? No, something zero. Oh crap.
Yeah, and the other kid didn't have a career either. Where did he go?
Oh, that's right. Remember, because it was like Team Something and Team Something.
Yeah, that guy was hosting Saturday Night Live. I mean, they were the biggest thing in the world. Gone. And
same with the chick, the Mad Dog. Oh. Comment of the night.
Oh my god.
Leave it. Don't you dare delete that.
Come on, Nightbot. Come on.
Yeah, Nightbot has the night off.
Nightbot just left.
Change Nightbot's name.
So it rhymes.
Well, it matches. Oh. The best laugh.
That's good, man.
Best laughs have tears, guys.
The chat room is done. Don't even nobody has to comment. It's over because that's.
Oh my God. Oh, all right, Quentin. That's a little much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah, Mad Dog. Thanks for watching.
I hope he's. Remember this one?
Huh?
Remember when you do that when you were a kid? If you did something cool, you sunk a 3-pointer in your friend's face.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep. Yep.
He's probably doing that at his computer right now. He's like, "Yep, I win."
Mic drop. Oh, wow. But anyway, I was going to ask the chat, everyone just list off what kind of picks they use. Thought that would be kind of cool.
Guitar picks.
Guitar picks. Yeah. Not
And if you haven't tried the Dunlop Tortex picks, give them a whirl.
I remember Clayton's were pretty cool. You remember Clayton?
Mm-hmm.
Clayton James Hicks?
Clayton picks.
The Clayton picks had
James picks.
had an eagle on them or something, right?
Yeah, they were cool look. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice feel. When I road managed Tonic, I was their original guitar tech, you know, and those are the picks they used. So I remember having to go find them places, and you know, God, tour manager, what a job! What a job! Anybody ever tour manage their buddy's band? Anyone ever do that?
No.
It's not an easy gig.
You know, I always felt terrible because there were a few tours that we did have a tour manager and a driver, and I always felt terrible telling them to do anything. You know, it's like I don't know.
No, I would lay down at the end of the day, and I would think about what I did that day, and I did more in that day than I did like in a month. As far as all the little things I had to hit, all the little points I had to cover, and because you're advancing shows that are like, you know, a week ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pay phones back then, you know, there was no cell phones. We had an emergency cell phone that somebody in the band ran up the bill on, but yeah, that's what we learned about roaming real quick.
Oh yeah.
Not quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was in Canada one time talking to somebody in the US, and I remember I got my phone bill the next month and I was like, whoa. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I'd have that calling card. Remember you had like your little calling card and the payphone with like 20 numbers. And yeah, just so much work. And no glory, you know, no glam for the tour manager. Tour manager's out the door, you know, he's in charge of the load, you know, making sure the load's good while the band's in there after the show, meeting everybody, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're out in the cold, like helping with the, you know, the road cases and making sure that the crew that night that they signed to you packs it right. You know, it's like all this stuff.
Well, that's one thing I always had a problem with is like, having somebody else like touch any of my gear. So, you know, I had to tune my own guitars because I didn't trust anybody else to do it. And the funny thing about that is, if anybody in here has like knows about engineering or anything like that, Mark Lewis, who's big time now, works for Metal Hammer. Oh, I think he's affiliated with Metal Hammer Studios in Florida. But he was actually our guitar tech on Ozfest, and I didn't even let him tune my guitars because I'm like, no, I have to. It was something mental. I had to know that, you know, because everybody has their own playing style. And I knew exactly how hard I would hit certain, you know, especially like the low B string on a 7-string. I knew how many cents I had to tune it flat in order for it to be in tune when I hit it, you know?
There was that one time that you got a guitar from somebody and it was out, and you'll never forget that moment. Like every time you get handed a guitar, you're like, I don't trust anybody.
Nobody touched this.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I always tuned my own guitars too.
Mhm.
I would change. We'd get to the venue, you know, and I would change strings on like 2 guitars, like right there on a table.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the thing about with Tonic, I don't know if everyone in the chat knows the band Tonic, but
well, if they don't know the band name, if you mention the song,
yeah,
they'll know the song. I mean, it's just
if you could only see that song, the
Yep.
biggest rock radio song of 1998.
Great song.
And not even close to their best song, I think, personally. But anyway, every song was a different tuning. And that's kind of what your ears, like, if you like the band, it was because you heard these chords that you didn't hear all the time, and these sounds from the guitar that you did, very warm sounding, and a lot of dad-gad, you know, a lot of the Zeppelin tuning, but capo and it anywhere in the first 5 positions for every song. So, you know, we're on the road for like a few weeks the first time in the van, and I remember just watching the guys between songs tuning. It was like a minute between songs, you know, capoing, you know. Our lead singer, you know, had to do it himself too, and he would talk during it, and I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So
you can't bring 10 guitars on, you know.
Finally, I was like, I'll do it, you know, just give me the graph. So we printed out a graph for all the songs and all the tunings. And that graph, that laminated sheet, like went for the next 3 years with the band, like with whatever guitar tech we had. But I remember just how nerve-wracking it was, because every song was in a different capo or a different tuning. Like, you know, the E string was off, you know, tuned down 2 steps on this song, and, you know, drop D, but with a 1 position. And I mean, it was crazy, constant. So
what a pain in the butt.
Total pain. But, you know, yeah, open up your eyes. That was actually easy. Open, drop D. That was the easy one. So it was all downhill from there.
Did they kind of adjust their set list to, like, if these 2 songs were tuned to say, all right, guys, we got to play these 2 songs back to back, 2 ballads back to back, bro? We can't do that, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Which one? Is it Lemon Parade? I'm listed on it. Great record. One of the greatest debut records of all time, I think. And it's not because I worked on it, but
I'm gonna have to listen to them.
They
got to be on Spotify, right?
I really think that album is just so, like, every song's good. Every song.
Is that the debut?
Yeah.
The one with that song? Because the only songs I've ever heard from them are the songs on the radio. I've never heard anything.
Oh man, if you know what, just listen to that record front to back once, and you'll see.
Jesus,
the songs, dudes. Like, yeah.
If you could only see, now this is just Spotify. You know how it tells you, like, the listens or whatever, the streams?
Yeah.
41 million.
Wow.
41,091,000 streams of one song. Holy crap. Lemon Parade, that's the debut? Lemon Parade Revisited 2016. I hope it's not remixed. Oh, it's all acoustic.
Acoustic. Yeah.
Acoustic.
Gross.
Yeah. No, it was cool. You know, the first year was so much fun. It was a lot of work. We were in a van most of the time, but you could just feel this thing growing. It was every little, we tagged on with a Midwest band that had a following, and we opened up for them. And every show that we played, like, we had 20 people, like, following the van out of the parking lot. It was crazy. You know, they all could tell that they saw something pretty special, because they, you know, we'd play 7-8 songs, all good, all incredible harmonies and sound, and, you know, very tight. And they'd never heard of you before, so they're like, where did you guys come from? You know, so, and that happened every night, you know. So
do you think now this, I just thought of this, I mean, you know, the whole one-hit wonder thing, and even sometimes it's like 1.5 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think sometimes it's bad for a band to have like their first hit be so like, whoa, and then it seems like the band can never match that first single ever again, and just people don't want to hear anything else besides that one song?
Yeah. Well, they pretty much did 3 studio records. They were all while they were together for the first 5-6 years, and the last one was recorded right when Universal, the whole merger thing happened. So they kind of got their popularity in the label went from here, way down, because they were on a small label called Polydor at A&M Records.
Yep.
And they had the whole weight of Polydor and a lot of A&M behind them when we first started. So, but it slipped, and it's what's crazy is the third album got nominated for like Rock Album of the Year Grammy. It's in the category with like U2. They were up against
wow. Watch out now.
All That You Can't Leave Behind. They were up against that album,
Wow.
And, so they got nominated for 2, and they had to pay their way to New York. So like the record company wouldn't pay for them to go. And they're nominated for Rock Album of the Year. It was insane. Like, so anyway, things changed. So, but their first 3 records, incredible. All of them got great songs on all of them. Really good.
I'm gonna listen to them.
Great writing, great sound. Yeah, and a lot of fun. That was, I blew my back out working for them. So,
my back out humping your mom last night. No, what was it? Jay and Silent Bob. Like, when did he say that? Remember when they're outside? Something. Jay and Silent Bob. Anybody?
Yeah. I was just reading some chat, but
I'll be right back. I have to go make another drink here because I feel we're in for a very long night.
No, Todd, Soda Pop, I was not the guitarist in Tonic. My best friend was the drummer in Tonic, and so when they were playing clubs here in Los Angeles, I was like their buddy who helped them, at gigs, and then they got signed, and then they went and recorded this record, which took a long time and a lot of money, and they did it with Jack Joseph Puig, who had just done the Black Crowes record, the really good one, and I remember my best friend got married, and we, at the wedding, they all took me aside and were like, yeah, we're going on the road in a couple weeks, and we want you to be the tour manager. And I was like, what is that? Because they wanted to pay their buddy to be the tour manager instead of pay, a real tour manager, which would have cost, probably 4 times as much that they got me for the bro rate. And
that's cool.
I said, let me think about it. And they gave me a pre-release of the album, the CD. And I went home and I listened to half a song, and I called them, oh, let's do it. So,
awesome.
Yeah, I knew it was a done deal. I knew that they were going to make it just when I heard the songs. So good. Good songs are good songs. Doesn't matter what kind of music you like. You know good songs when you hear them,
Right. Yeah.
Like,
well,
even the heaviest of heavy metal guys, they love the Eagles when they come on. They just do. They do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's all about the songs. That's the bottom line of music.
Yeah. If you got good tunes, you're golden.
Yeah.
You don't have to shred.
Yeah. Yep. It doesn't matter if you can shred or not.
No. But what's funny, one night in Atlanta at I think it's called the Roxy there. When the lights went down, they've been talking about it for months, because I would sound check the guitars during the sound check, and I would do all the Van Halen stuff, and everybody would get a kick out of it. Except I had to do it on Les Pauls. One night in Atlanta, the lights went down, and I took Jeff's guitar and I did like an Eddie intro show, and the place was going crazy, and like I kind of froze up because of how crazy the room got. And then I handed the guitar to Jeff, and then they started their show. And it was just funny because no one ever knew it was me. You know? But the band got a good kick out of it. And our sound man was the one that talked me into it. So a lot of fun, man. That was, you know, you'd be 26 years old and going all over the country. I was everywhere in North America like 5 times. So much fun, you know, and just a great vibe from all the fans, because we had these like little, we called them the creepy travelers, because we had these like 10 girls would just show up wherever we were, like especially like in the Midwest, but sometimes on the coasts. But in the Midwest, they followed us. They would go on a road trip of their own and show up at these gigs, and they're small gigs. They're not big gigs. They're
like
just,
like you were saying, people would follow you out of the follow the van like to like the next gig.
Yeah,
kind of like a Grateful Dead kind of thing.
Out the window, like, you know, that kind of following. Like, we had to be careful, you know, not to run people's feet over. But, yep, there goes John BL with the, yep, yeah, cool. That was fun. Yeah, and here we go. I mean, I got this thing on the wall back here. Broke my back for that. So worth it.
That's awesome.
I broke my back.
Yeah.
Spinal
surgery.
You had surgery too?
Oh yeah, no, I had like a disc completely blow out, so I had like a discectomy, but my whole sciatica was out. It was awful. Ran myself.
Worse, man. You know, people don't understand. Like, I remember my dad had a bad back growing up, and I remember like him always, you know, laid up in bed for a day or something. Like, oh, my back is out. I'm like, you know, as a kid, you have no idea what pain is like. Man. You know? Yeah. And then once you have a back injury, and then you have to like stop doing what you like, you know, playing. I had to stop playing hockey, and it sucks. You know, it really sucks.
Amanda, I'm no good on 2x2 roller skates, but I'm badass on rollerblades. So, yeah.
Yes, I remember one time, you know, having to put on real roller skates at I forget what the hell we were doing. It's some roller rink for, I forget what the hell it was for. And I remember putting them on. I was like, whoa, what the hell are these things, man? Once you get used to rollerblades, you can't roller skate.
Yeah. I used to rollerblade with Howie all the time. Actually, search the channel here. Go under the Howie, the Dalmatian playlist, and you'll see videos of Howie and I rollerblading.
Oh, please tell me there's videos of you rollerblading.
Like 11 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Actually, like videos of you like from somebody else filming you rollerblade?
Possibly.
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta find that.
Yeah. We're in the red pants.
It's on the channel.
Red
I think I was wearing white pants then.
Oh no! Get out of here, man.
Yeah, white pants.
Don't fall.
Did you paint the front of them like Caleb?
Oh. Yeah, man. How are those doing?
Pretty. They came out pretty well.
Caleb,
stand up.
I gotta cut you guys off because Dave Nesdahl, the first question he asked is, "Are they yellow?" They're not yellow.
No.
So what's the story here? Why aren't they yellow?
Well, you know, I don't think.
Oh, well, now it all makes sense.
I don't think yellow is going to go good. You know,
that's a great point.
I'm going to be kind of like a black and white theme.
It's black. It's white.
Yeah. Shut mouth. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's.
Has there ever been any story about when Michael, you know, obviously Michael Jackson had Eddie do Beat It, and then his next step was having
Steve Stevens.
Well, Steve Stevens, yes, and then who was the
Lash.
who was the woman guitar player?
That.
Yes, she was awesome too. And then he went to Slash. Now, was there ever any story about if he was trying to get anybody else, or was it just Slash at the time? Because, you know, obviously GNR was huge then. Well, I wonder if that was it. It was like, hey, I want Slash. And obviously, if you're Slash, you're going to do it.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to catch lightning in a bottle again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But nobody matches the Beat It solo, man. It's so cool. Like in that type of song, it's just neat, man. You know,
it's probably the ballsiest move by a musician like ever to, you know, play on a Michael Jackson record. You know, I'm in the biggest hard rock band in the world. I'm going to play on a Michael Jackson record.
Yeah, and his story now, whether it's true or not, who knows? But saying like, oh, you know, the rest of the guys are on vacation. No one's going to know I played on this black guy's record. It's like,
yeah,
it's so funny, you know.
Right. It becomes the biggest album of all time and prevents 1984 from going #1.
Yeah, I'm sure Dave was pissed about that.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember the interview was, yeah, he's been doing that same solo for us for 10 years.
That's what Dave said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That same solo for us for 10 years. That's what he said.
I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it definitely caused problems. I mean, if you look at like 81, 82, 83, 84, you can see all the problems, you know.
Well, that interview, I read an article a couple of years ago that was written about the photo shoot from what, Women and Children, I think it was, when they all like got there and like Dave had all this, like these ideas, and it was a huge issue. And then the interview that Eddie did for Johnny will know the guy's name, was it somebody from Guitar World or something who recorded the phone interview. And Eddie he said something like, if you ever, you know, show anybody this, or if, you know, if this interview gets out, you know, I'll come to your house and I'll do something to you. I can't say it on YouTube because, you know, it'll get flagged or whatever. But basically saying how like Dave's always had an ego trip and all this stuff. And, you know, like, didn't he not want Eruption on there? And then he didn't want like the Little Guitars intro and Spanish Fly. You know what I mean? It's like,
hey, you know, I still think that Eddie recorded Hot for Teacher in standard just to mess with Dave.
Well, there's that song, and there's also Girl Gone Bad that's standard as well.
Mm-hmm. I totally think he did that just to mess with him, like to challenge him, you know.
Stack of Pound Cakes, I love that question because I think it is. He asks, is Eddie solo in Beat It? Is that Eddie doing the knocking sound? I think it is because it sounds like his guitar and his sound knocking. It just...
That's a great question.
It's got to be.
And only Eddie and Quincy can answer.
Yep.
Only those two guys would know. Maybe Lukather, because Lukather's all the rhythm guitars on that.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Lukather was. I wonder if he had something planned for that. You know, maybe he had a solo written for it or something. And who knows what the story behind that?
Right? Yeah. No, it's like the story's been told so many times, but there's so many little questions, you know.
Of course, yeah. Like who drove over your rig? You know,
right? What rig did you use? Like,
yeah.
Did you bring your whole your 812? You know,
yeah. That's what I would love to know. Like, and how was it? Like, who were you in there with?
Yeah,
you know, because he says he like kind of rearranged the tune a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, did you tell Quincy, hey, this should go here, you should change? You know, and how was he receptive to it? Was he like, dude, just play guitar, man, you know?
Yeah. And he did two. I'd love
two takes, right?
Yeah, I'd love to hear the other one.
Oh, yeah. But nowadays, who knows if that's you know, nowadays they would save every take he did. Back then they probably zipped it back over, you know, considering probably done on a 24 track, you know.
Be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was funny because the other day when I was searching for fabric to make these pants before I just, and I went into a fabric store trying to find that fabric with that pattern, and the guy there told me that I should do it this way: get pants, get a sticky stencil, and cut each stripe, and then use acrylic paint. So he told me how to do it. But when I went into that store, Beat It's playing.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, it was meant to happen. Like, I have to buy something here.
I didn't though. I didn't buy anything there because it was just a fabric store. But I remember I'm looking for these pants and Beat It's playing. This is crazy.
Well, John Biel, our producer.
Yeah.
I'm getting the word right now. John Biel is saying that it is reported that the knock was a person walking into Eddie's recording studio. Another story has claimed that the sound was simply the musician knocking on his own guitar, which it sounds, that tone that it sounds like Eddie's tone. You know what I mean? But he says the sound, however, is that of Michael Jackson knocking on a drum case, as he is credited in the album's liner notes. Really?
Interesting.
That's cool.
Well, it's a very cool little thing on that song for sure. It's like, what's behind the door?
No, I mean, come on, you know, it's got to be that. Who is it? Oh, it's Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, it's just
here we go.
It's just the king of the world.
Yep.
Yeah, Caleb, I enjoyed your on Facebook. You did a post, something about the first show of the '84 tour.
Yes,
like a repost or something. And I read your post today, and I thought it was cool, man.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. Because it was like a little over a year after I'd met him. So, and after I met him when I was 13 years old, you know, my life changed that night, and
and Eddie's didn't.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that. But
no, Eddie's changed too. He put extra locks on his doors.
Right, you bet.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. No, so when finally to go, because I wanted to go to the US Festival, which is like a couple months later, but my mom just put the quash on that, boy. Like, and she was probably smart. I wouldn't let a 13-year-old go out to San Bernardino for like an 11 p.m. show with the debauchery that was going on in a sea of 500,000 people. I mean, I would have ill. I would have never came home. I would have never shown up again.
Well, real quick, let's just say the S Festival. I mean, to be in the front of there, you would have had to been there like what, a couple days earlier, like right when they opened up the
all day they were passing.
All day.
They're passing people over the barricade. There's, you know, dozens of people that were, you know, evac'd out of there because of exhaustion and all kinds of stuff. They were spraying the crowd with hoses, you know, with those high-powered hoses. It was such a hot day and very uncomfortable for everybody. And I remember them. You can see in the video, like when he says it's all countdown to Van Halen time, he asks like everyone to take 2 steps back, you know, and that's because everybody down front was just getting crushed. So yeah, I wouldn't have been able to make it. So that didn't happen, and I was devastated, and I had to wait like almost a year for the '84 tour. And
what do you think would happen to concert attendance what if YouTube all of a sudden said, hey, you cannot upload any concert footage? And like, what do you think would happen? Because nowadays it's just everything's so accessible. And Johnny, I think we actually discussed this a little bit on the show, last night or whatever the hell it was.
I don't.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to think, like, back then you're saying that, Johnny, you had to get there like a day or two early to get up front for that. Nowadays, I mean, they're begging people to go to shows. It's I wonder what we can do, because the internet is great for so many things, but it's ruined so many things as well.
It was a different time, I mean, to see like an amazing show, like you had to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that were there had the stories of being at that show.
Yeah, I was there, man. Dude, the Middletown, New York, 93 Van. I was there, man.
You were there. I do know people who were actually at the S Festival who saw Van Halen. I know people that were actually there. But Soda Pop, it says California. The California Bears.
Real quick, thrash metal, dude. No one agrees with what Michael Jackson did and was found later to have done and rumored to have done. I believe the guy was a sick guy. Everyone knew it. But we're talking about, something that was produced. A lot of other people worked on it. Those people aren't sick people. It's
not that we know of, at least.
We don't know. And it's part of the history of music, and so,
I mean, you can't, say what you want about the guy, but you cannot argue the talent of Michael Jackson. I mean, there will never be another Michael Jackson.
Like O.J. Simpson, like him play football.
Remember the clip of him being shown the shoes?
Yeah.
His eyes were like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, there's 57 prints at the scene with these shoes, buddy.
I didn't have those shoes. Oh, well, here you are a couple of years ago walking on the field at a Buffalo Bills game with those exact shoes on. Oh, well,
It happens. Yeah. I'm not celebrating O.J. Simpson. I just remember before he did what he did, he was like one of the most popular people in the world, and celebrated. And if you met him on the street, you would have, had your picture taken with him.
Yeah.
Like
he was great in the Naked Gun movies. He was great.
Yeah. His older kids went to school with my brother. So we saw him at a picnic. We saw him at a school picnic, and I have a picture with my brother. I think his son Jason and me, and OJ's got his arms like around me.
Can I ask you guys a question? And everybody in the chat too.
Yeah.
If Michael Jackson were still alive, who would you rather spend a couple hours with in a room together? Michael Jackson or O.J. Simpson?
Wow.
I don't know why I thought of that. just the two of us.
And you could ask them anything.
You could ask him anything, and just who would you feel less, I guess,
threatened by? Well, that's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, I
don't think Mike killed people with a knife.
And according to Eddie Murphy, Mike ain't weighed but $105,
Soaking wet.
Yeah, soaking wet. Yep.
Oh, everyone's right. MJ. Not OJ.
MJ or OJ?
MJ.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was never a fan of OJ's.
Not even a Naked Gun, Nordberg. You weren't a fan of Nordberg?
Naked Gun I thought was funny. Hey.
Hello.
The boat is what do you call it?
Happy time.
Hey.
There he is.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Cool.
We're talking.
I'm gonna answer that question. I'll go Michael Jackson because I'm in my 50s. So I guess I'll be safe. At least that's when I turned off a muted YouTube. That's the last I heard.
Just don't drink any of the Jesus juice.
Macaulay Culkin has had tons of it.
Oh.
How's everybody doing, man?
Good.
Cool.
Doing good.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
All right.
Sorry about your dog.
Thanks, man. Thank you. It's 2019 sucks. That's so far from me, but when when I was younger, I used to box every now and then. I know it's hard to tell with this, you know, with my chiseled chin and my Adonis looks, but I did. And so every now and then, when you get punched, you get back up. So it'll all be good, man. Thanks for asking. I appreciate, and everybody in the chat. The other night when Johnny was on, I was in the chat room. Just thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for just reaching out, and you know, it really does mean a lot and makes a difference. That people actually, you know, people I've never met care. That says something. That's a testament to people's fiber, if you will. So, thank you all. So, I was trying to listen earlier. You were saying that there's an announcement or something going on at the Ultimate Jam. I was out earlier. I just got home, actually.
They just released the list of players at the Ultimate Jam night at the NAMM show for Saturday night, and 3 of the first 4 or 5 names. Oh, hi. What's going on?
You see these 2 idiots over here?
I just saw a head pop up.
The microphone's in the way. That's not my microphone, but
Just happy to see you, California.
Don't be squirting water at me, pal.
No, Mike, it's the first 3 of the first 4 or 5 names on the list are Steve Vai, Billy Sheehan, and Greg Bissonette.
Oh.
So you do your own conclusion there as to what might happen. And there's several hints on the internet from people involved with the jam that they're gonna do what they couldn't do before, which was a few years ago. They were gonna have the DLR band play at the Ultimate Jam, but it got shut down because of the fire marshal. This is the same crew of people, and it looks like it's going down. So
that's gonna be killer, man. Ah,
killer. There it is.
Killer. There it is. It's gonna be killer.
I was hoping I was gonna see this.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it. I mean, I was like, wait a minute, no way.
Not yet.
Do you
Next-
want to
Not yet.
Yeah.
or what? Well,
Next
then-
year.
Shut
Next
up.
year.
The operative word is yet.
I'm joking, but not really. If you want it, you're hammered though.
No, I'm not.
You hear this?
No.
I'm not hammered. I am not hammered.
Oh, see, you gotta get a few drinks in her to get on camera here.
I just want to take my
Do
kid.
you want a pretzel? We're gonna make pretzels. You want one?
I don't want pretzels. No, thank
No,
you.
we're gonna make
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
Good, how are you?
Nobody's hammered.
Yeah, you don't sound it at all. You know.
Look at Jay. Flank.
I do.
Jay's blank.
We're gonna make. Do you want a pretzel? No pretzels. Do you want a pretzel?
Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
I could give you a pretzel. I'd give you a pretzel.
Is that code word for something else?
No, sir.
You
We're
want a
making
pretzel?
pretzels.
Yeah. It'd be funny if they went downstairs but took the Pattinson thing with them.
You know, there's a hole in his crotch, and I stand behind him. You know. Head to toe. You know. What?
Oh, that is awesome.
Oh my God.
That sounds bad sleepover.
This showed us went off the rails, didn't it?
I thought it was a late show. This is
It is the late show. Saturday.
That's great.
John Parsons said he'll take one of you. Who wants to hang out with John Parsons?
Christy's ready.
How
How much money you got?
Whoa.
Make sure you throw the cutout in there though, so you can have a threesome.
Oh God.
That's it. Sorry.
Wow.
All right, go make yourself some pretzels, and I'll see you later.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Internet matchmaker.
Pretzels. Come on, honey.
Going down in South Carolina.
I love you. I'll see you later.
I love you, Jay.
Johnny, can you delete this video now? before it's even over, can you delete this?
beautiful.
Come here, Jeannie.
I've never seen Jay blush. Oh,
It's the wall.
Aw.
oh. Present them. Present.
No.
Present him.
Oh, Jesus.
Juice.
Juice. Jesus, juice.
Were you guys out? Did you guys just come?
Vodka, just straight vodka.
Vodka water.
I see.
Not straight, but it's pretty much straight.
Yeah.
No,
How much of the bottles left?
There's not.
It's
Hey, you're
not. I
on,
love it.
We got the camera, the show on there.
Oh, I know. I was watching.
So I'm sending my drunk.
I was watching in the Uber. Or the...
I'm sending my drunk wife downstairs with Ellie with the monitor. Maybe I can keep this. All right. I'll see you in a little bit.
Gross. Oh, God.
All right. It's getting deleted.
Yeah.
You gotta love when you kiss your wife and she says gross.
Yeah. In that later, though.
That's on the internet for 80 people. Oh.
If we can like download the video and then edit it so it has this whole section cut out.
I think it was a really sweet moment.
That'd be great.
I say get rid of everything else and just put that up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, come on now. We might get some more viewers.
The show highlight. You know, I've been doing show highlights for some of these things, and
Dinner with the Hannons.
That should be a thumbnail, Johnny. Them peeking out behind there. Like, what's this show going to be about?
Yeah, Brendan Butchick says we can fix it in post.
Yeah.
Fix it in the mix.
Fix it with post. With post.
Man, she has some peppermint chapstick on. Her lips are like tingling, and it doesn't mix well with this Sammy's Beach Bar rum that I'm drinking.
Ooh.
I think we're gonna lose Jay soon.
Who's my limit, man?
Also, I think I might have had a drunk Uber driver bringing me home tonight. Is this supposed to be the other way around?
God, Mike, as if it can't get any worse.
No, I mean, first of all, he takes like forever to pick me up, right?
That's a good sign.
Yeah, exactly. And then he gets in, and I'm like, literally, like, dude, what are you doing?
Sorry.
I want to get home.
I was like, oh, never mind. Sorry.
No, okay, good. Come on, it was good. You're laughing.
Someone
Silas.
Someone posted something that it said 20 years ago, don't talk to strangers, and then it was never get in a car with a stranger.
right.
Never.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Never meet any strangers online. And now we do everything when we call an Uber driver. That's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Uber is the combination of all three of those things that
All
we're
the things
told
we taught since we
not
were
to
kids,
do.
right? Not to do, yeah.
Not to do. Sean Silas, hey man, great to see you, dude.
John, how you doing, man?
Come on in, Sean.
Yeah, come on in here, man.
Get Sean in here.
Pop on, John. Come on in.
Initially, Jeannie was because her friend Christy, who's here, she lives in Myrtle Beach. So initially, Jeannie was going to just have the Uber driver drive her here. This is what they were discussing all this before they left, you know. And I'm like, whoa. I had to butt in. I had to be a butt-in-ski. And I was like, you're not having some Uber driver drive you home alone. I'm like, no way. You know.
My wife, she sends me a screenshot of the driver's picture and name.
Smart.
Whenever she gets into one.
Isn't that? I mean, I don't know. I think one of Uber or Lyft. Don't they have that now? You can automatically set it up where you can have like a, your wife or husband, whatever. It'll automatically send it out saying, she got into this car with this particular person here, and I think you can actually follow them, where they're going and everything like live.
Yeah, I'm sure, because it's like, yeah, the guy hasn't raped and killed anybody yet.
Oh, Johnny.
Sorry, John.
Ah.
Sorry, man.
Okay.
Jimmy says our
Sorry.
Uber driver was very nice. You know, that's what they all say. He was very nice. And the next thing you know, yeah, I'm very nice.
Hello, Uber driver.
Oh.
So let me ask everybody in the chat: do you prefer the off the rails late night show or the normalcy of the Tuesday and Friday?
You mean Nez Dull Tuesdays and Fridays? Okay, everything's being deleted until right here.
Yeah,
Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. We're just starting.
How you doing, everybody?
He's drunk chatting.
Yeah.
So, Caleb, update. Nerd Halen.
Oh, Michael Smith is being Steve Anderson tonight.
Oh, sorry. Let me back up. I'm no Steve.
Well, first of all, I got to apologize today for we. Let's put it this way.
How many shots you in?
Fender Guru is the most loyal, devoted fan to this project. He's awesome, and I love the guy. Like, I sent a shirt to New Zealand, and he's just very cool. And so whenever I post something, he tries to blast it. And today I posted something, and he literally, I checked back in 5 minutes, it had been shared 19 times.
That's awesome. The Peter North share button.
Yes. He was throwing ropes with my share all over the internet. So I start reading some of the comments on some of the different Facebook pages that he posted on, and let's just say there was some negative reaction to all the Nerd Halen in your, like, everyone, you know.
Are you for real?
Oh yeah, I seen it.
But you know what?
I didn't see that yet. Okay.
But I understand it, because I don't want my feed filled with too much of anything either. Mm-hmm. So, you know, okay. I had to. I let Mr. Guru know that, you know, I totally appreciate everything he's doing. I love it. We gotta back off a little, because I don't want to, you know, fatigue everybody.
You don't want to end it before it begins.
Exactly. You know. So yeah. So, you know, where we're at is, I think at this point we're just a couple months away from the launch.
Cool.
Of this thing, and you know, follow along if you guys haven't subscribed. I just put up a new YouTube channel for the band, and obviously, you know, all the other 3 platforms. The Twitter, almost at 300, which is great. The Facebook is over 300. The Instagram's over 300. So I got a lot of people that are waiting to hear, and it's great. It's awesome. It's very exciting. I think we're going to put together a fun show. It's not going to be
typical,
you know, old guys wearing tights with wigs. It's going to be a little more real to our age and what we're capable of. So, which means no wigs. Not that I don't think that's cool.
Well, when you say capable, I don't want people to feel like capable musician wise, because you guys, from what I've seen, and you know, I obviously know how good of a guitar player you are, but from the snippets that you've shared,
yeah,
I mean, you guys are top notch musicians. So
yeah, and I don't
think anybody has to worry about that aspect. It's going to be killer.
No, it is. I mean, the musicianship is there, you know, and the different take on the whole thing, I think, is really original and cool. So I can't wait to see it, man.
I'm gonna go even further because you know our singer is a stand-up comedian and
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
pretty great actor too. So, and he's super fun and funny and constantly cutting jokes. So just having that as your front man is exciting because I don't think there's a situation on stage that
he can't handle.
That he can't handle. Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. So,
oh, that's cool,
yeah.
man. That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be. Let's just say, nobody ever knows what happened to Waldo.
Nobody knows my sorrow. Picky, 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 picky.
Well, this is what happened to Waldo.
So we actually might find out where Waldo is.
We're going to find out. Yeah, excited. And I hope everyone gets to check it out. So stay tuned. I know I've been saying that for a year, but
yeah, but you want to get it right, man.
These things, yeah, these things take time, and you know, people are busy, and you know, the bass player and the drummer I have are working pros. They're doing a lot of projects. So the fact that they're doing this on spec right now is a great sign. So we got people believing in the project. So stick with us. If you guys want a shirt, DM me on one of my platforms, and we'll work it out. And,
speaking of Instagram, man, it is so hard to gain any kind of traction in followers. I mean, I've committed myself to posting once a day now, and not just dumb stuff, not like food. Oh, I'm eating a burrito or I'm taking a dump. It's none of that stuff. It's like legit stuff that I'm posting now.
Yeah.
And it's like
it takes like a legitimate reshare from somebody big.
Dude, EVH GEAR reshared my post of that picture back there, and it didn't do me any good. DR Strings reposted my picture of me outside with the Eddie Van with the striped tights on with the guitars. No one gave a crap. It's almost, I almost feel like anybody that isn't big time pays for their followers. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what it is, but man, I'll get 8, I'll lose 12. That's just how it is.
Really? Wow.
Well, maybe, you know, maybe that picture scared a lot of people. I don't know.
You know what's awesome about that, man, is like when because Caleb was the first one to you texted me, about when EVH GEAR reposted my post with Ellie.
Right, that was a scary one, by the way. But
you know what the awesome thing about that is, like, as soon as I thought of that, I was like, Eddie Van Halen saw that post. He saw me sitting there on my couch with his guitar, with my daughter. You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh man, that's cool as hell.
That's how I feel when because you know, every morning I'm up pretty early with the kid. I'm sure you are too, even though I know you have weird hours with your kid. You know, Janie tweets at like 5 a.m. every morning.
Yeah, and
so I try to be like first to respond because I get like an alert when she tweets. So then usually I try to say something funny, and then when she comes back with a laughing face on, you know, in response on that tweet, I know who she's sitting right next to, and I know she just laughed, and I have a feeling she just told him the joke. So that's the kind of the rush I get, you know, when I do that, and then you could just see how sick we all are.
I know, because I asked somebody that works for under the Fender umbrella that I know, and he was busting my balls because I asked him. I was like, you know, because I was pumped up, you know, because he knows the guys, you know, all the people that work for EVH GEAR and stuff. And I asked him, I was like, dude, you know, who approves that? Who approves what gets reposted? And he's like, Eddie approves it. And I was like, what? He's like, no, I'm playing. I'm joking. It's not Eddie. He's like, I'm sure he saw it. He might have to approve it or whatever, but he said he said the person's name who
Matt
was in charge.
Not Matt Bruck, but this guy Matt, who was with EVH Fender.
Yeah, he kind of approved or said who approved like what gets reposted or whatever. But still, it was awesome to see that, man. It really was.
Yeah, the company, they've got a social media person working on all that stuff.
Yeah.
Amanda put up, she said, she put it to you, Jay, you have to vary and increase the things you follow, like, and comment on as well. I have over 900, mostly because of that. It's just algorithms.
You know what, though? Don't take this the wrong way, but I think it's easier for like women to get a lot of followers because guys, once they see a woman posting something or liking something they did, instantly it's like, oh, follow, you know? Like Jeannie has more followers than me and she barely posts anything.
But look how fun she is.
She is fun, but you know.
She posts about, or maybe they're automatic, but on Twitter, I see a lot of her posts about like beer, or like it's some sort of like beer. It might be some automatic thing.
Yeah, it's what is she, Jeannie? If you're listening to this, she does this Untapped, I think the app.
Yeah, Untapped. Yeah.
Well, Jeannie is a beer drinker. She loves it, and she loves trying new beers. And Todd, Soda Pop, stop it. Stop right there. Let's not do any of that crappy, you know, stupid stuff. But anyway, yeah, that whenever she, it's one of those apps where you put in if you tried a new beer or not. You know, like I tried this beer.
And it automatically tweets it out.
Yes,
that's what it looks like. Yeah, I see those. Those are what I see. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting factoid from our producer, Waldo Keith Kessinger, the nerdy kid in the video for Hockey Teacher, is now all grown up and actually recorded a pretty damn good cover of that song. So there you go.
Oh, cool, man.
Was he the actual guy?
That's what they're saying.
That's what John's saying? Because I know Keith, and I asked him to come on the show, and he said he agreed to come on here at some point.
Oh, dude.
A follow up, man.
John just put up a YouTube link to it.
Well, nobody.
Are you sure he was actually Waldo? He did make a video being Waldo grown up and covering a song. He's a great musician, actually.
What's he play? Guitar?
But he'll always
he plays everything.
Really?
The video was featured on VHND like years ago. But yeah, Keith. Yeah, I'll follow up and send him a message and get him on here pretty soon.
Thrash Metal Fun Riffs. He wants a wrench so he can censor himself.
There's already too many wrenches in here, man.
Look at this.
Yeah, I know. I said it before, Johnny. Man, you're like an Oprah Winfrey with the wrenches. You know.
You have a lot of wrenches in your room.
You get a wrench.
Yeah.
You get a wrench. Everybody gets a wrench.
I think we're gonna have to keep track of who actually uses the wrench, and like people that if they don't use them, just
The whole thing is
but then you're gonna get everybody like that has a wrench now. They hear that and they're like, "Oh, I have to use it," and now they're gonna have to
now there'll be no comments.
Yeah, no comments.
Blank screen.
I want to hear. Hold on, we got 46 watching right. This is the first time I saw that tonight. We got 46 watching. I want to see a comment from somebody that has never commented before. Type something in the chat.
Well, tell them to put like what, a number or something to so we know.
Or just say hi.
Just say hi or type 5150.
There you go, 5150. Perfect.
Right, and it's just like the Zodiac killer pops up. Hi, Jay.
Uber driver pops up.
No, the next comment is, "Hi, Jay. I know your address." John Harden. Henrik Viking. Yes.
Hi Jay, I just made a drop off at your
Yeah, I'll be back in an hour or two. Yeah.
I left my wrench at your house, man.
Yeah.
Or I didn't use my wrench.
Yeah. Jeannie took my vodka bottle. I'm waiting for it.
Where are you guys from? John Harden and Henrik Viking. Where are you guys from? This is cool, man. Michael Smith, 5150. Oh. His first comment. And a wrench.
See how quick Johnny gives him out? I just said hello and I got a wrench.
Scuffed MF says that guy thrash metal deserves a wrench.
It's the same guy. No.
Henrik Viking is from Sweden. Henrik, are you a fan of soil work? And I ask you that question for a reason.
Ooh.
I can't wait for him to respond.
Here we go. We're waiting for you. And
But no, as far as the wrenches, the people that have them have been here for a long time. And they're people that we know and trust to take care of situations of
ridiculous
trolls and trolling and stuff. That's why they have them. Yeah.
Well, Henrik, he says, "Oh yes, I'm from the same town as them." Oh God, here comes trouble.
Uh-oh.
Are you getting private messages or something? Anyway, Henrik, their Soilworks singer is going to be on my band's new album that comes out later this year. Jeannie.
You dropping F-bombs.
F-bombs are they're okay on YouTube.
Don't
Here
tell
we go.
me.
Ready? 5, 4.
So yeah,
Hold on
an F-bomb in the middle of a show like this won't
have to
hurt
go.
anything.
Lay the hammer.
We still don't want to drop them though.
I so want to do it.
So do I. God, I'm biting my tongue right now.
What was the Van Halen record in '91? What was the
4?
What was the short version of that called?
It was fun.
Yep.
Oh, whoops.
Speaking of that,
Football.
when Jay comes back, I somehow in my feed saw a video that somebody put up of the Right Here Right Now home video that everybody knows of, but the audio was an audience recording. So it was the actual audio to that show.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Before they all doctored it up.
And you can watch the whole thing with an audience bootleg, and you can hear what was changed and what wasn't. When I heard it, it wasn't so much the music, it was so much like the singing. I mean, obviously the singing was all redone, but you could tell. But some of the music actually sounded like it was the same stuff, or some of it.
But it really tweaked the singing then, for the most part.
Yeah. The singing was totally all redone.
Okay.
But it was cool.
Hey, you invite Sean in?
Huh?
Sean, pop in, man. Come on.
Did you invite Sean Silas in?
Sean, do you want to jump in?
John, come on, Sean.
I'd love to talk to Sean pre-NAM talk.
Yeah, Sean's gonna be running around doing some cool stuff with his new business there. You should pop on. And by the way, it's killing me. Talk about killer. Killing me that I had to cancel my trip out there. I was lucky enough to get the pass. A friend of mine out here, Anthony, who owns Flipside Music, by the way, in Denver. Anybody that's looking for, stop in to see him. He's a cool dude. He got me the pass. These things aren't easy to come by, especially for somebody like me. I mean, I'm not in the industry. I don't know all the hookups and whatnot. But he was kind enough to do that for me. And because of my work situation, I mean, I had to cancel the flight, everything. I had everything set up. And like I said, 2018 sucks so far.
Yeah, that was a bummer to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always next year, man. I'm going to try my damnedest to get there next year. So.
Let's let Sean know we don't care if he's a mess. Come on in, dude.
Hop in, man. Look at this thing.
We're all messed.
They let this on. You can come on, John.
Yeah, you see what's going on at Jay's house? Come on, let's go.
The late show.
We're all a mess.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good.
By the way, you have new ones, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
Jay, I'm sorry. Caleb?
Yes, this is the new one.
I got to get my grubby fingers on some of those.
You got the old one. This
Yeah.
is the one.
I do dig that face, though.
Me too. You know, it's kind of, yeah. No, I think I'll just reprint the old one, you know.
It's cool, man.
So I'll have both. Oh, Sean, coming in.
Coming in hot.
Okay.
Just in case. I'll send you the link if you want to jump in, Sean. You don't have to have the camera on either. You can have just your avatar on. It's cool.
Well, we'll wait for you to go through makeup and hair if you want.
You could be in a witness protection program, and we don't have to see your face, even though we know what you look like. Hop in, Sean. Come on, man. You know you want to come on.
Cool. So get your questions ready for Sean Simon.
Right. That's right.
Of the Riot Band.
Yep.
Hey. Whoa.
Nice.
Is Jeannie playing now? What's going on? What is going on at Jay's house?
I think that Jay is working with Sean right now, and they're getting ready to do a little concert for us, and you're in on it too, Caleb, so don't lie.
I'm not plugged in, so.
Somehow I have a feeling you have a cable laying around somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe guilty.
Mm.
Hey guys, I got my new business cards.
Ooh.
How about a little of that action, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I covered up my email and phone number.
Nice.
But yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
Going to that horror convention. Yes, I said horror convention on
Why? Who busted your onions about the way you say horror?
horror convention on next week, because you know I don't like to talk about this stuff too much on here, but it's a late show, so I might as well for a minute. But
Yeah, it's not like it's going to be on the internet.
yeah, it's all not going to be on YouTube or anything.
I love horror movies, man. That's like, gosh, I love them.
But two of the movies I worked on are going to be premiered, I guess, at this this convention.
Nice.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. So one of them is just music in the trailer that I did. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. And then the other one is both trailer and then the end credits. As soon as the credits hit, one of my songs. I was like, yes.
Are you allowed to say the movies or no until?
Yeah, I mean, does anybody know the actor Sid Haig? He was in like House of a Thousand Corpses and
Yes.
other stuff.
I know that movie.
Yeah.
So I know him then.
But a lot of like people that are heavy into horror like know that guy's name. He's gonna be there.
Rob Zombie directed that, didn't he?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're actually gonna be the booth next to him, and then our booth, Sid Haig's booth, and then the next booth over is gonna be Kane Hodder. Oh yeah, Jason. So I'm gonna get the schmooze with these cats.
That is so cool, man.
Good time.
I grew up with and went to high school with this guy named Malik Akkad, and his dad is the original producer of the Halloween movies.
Ooh.
The executive producer.
Really cool.
Yeah, and Malik took over like the last 15 years. He's been doing himself, so he might go to those conventions. I don't know.
Well, remember the original
Yeah.
Halloween movie, the one that remember when Michael Myers gets his mask pulled off the actor that played that part, just that one part, he is actually going to be there, but he's only in that one part. Like the scene when you see in Halloween 1 when
he pulls him off and
then he like pulls it back over his head.
He's breathing heavy. He pulls it down.
That actor is only in that one scene. The rest of the movie is played by a different guy. Actually, 2 different guys, because I think 1 or 2 other parts are played by somebody else. But he's going to be there.
I just looked up Sig Hagen. Yeah, he's. When you see him, you won't forget who he is.
Yeah, the name, you're like, who's that? But when you see his face, you're like, oh.
When you see him, you know who it is.
Yeah. So I did music for a trailer that he's
awesome.
Music
that is so cool.
John Silas.
Show him, what's up, buddy.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
How you doing, Sean?
Hey, pretty good. How's it going, Mike?
Man?
Jay, Caleb?
You got through makeup quick.
You know, I had to go into the bathroom, you know, to get my eyeliner and stuff, you know.
Hold on, it's Skyliner.
Skyliner.
Skyliner, yeah.
Thank you guys for inviting me. That's awesome.
So, what's your plan for the NAMM week? Are you there all 4 days, or what?
Yeah, what's your whole schedule, man?
Well, you know, it's a trip. I think I'm going to be actually filming, you know, because of the whole business thing that I'm in right now. But you know, Borns actually sent me like a text to see if I could play, but I'm not really feeling it. I kind of just want to hang out, you know, and you know, hang out with the guys and stuff and check out the stuff and get some footage. So, but yeah, you know, I'll be there. I'm not sure if it's going to be all the days, but it'll be definitely Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Cool.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sunday's getaway day for the most part, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Mike, I'm sorry, dude, that you can't be. I know how it is.
Killing me, man. It is. Well, I told you. It sucks. But I mean, it's out of my control, right? I mean, you can't control what you can't control, and you know, God willing, I'll be out there next year to see everybody, man.
Sure.
Next year's gonna be better. I already feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So Sean,
mm-hmm.
You've been posting a few pictures.
Oh yeah,
of your former employee. What's that been like?
Well, I could say that I held on to that photo for a long time.
So the photo, speaking of, is if for those of you who don't know out there, Sean was one of the main guitar builders at Fender, special the what's it called?
Custom shop, right?
Yeah, well, it's a technical name now. It's a specialty line.
Specialty line, which was Jackson, Charvel, EVH, right?
Yes, those three. Yeah.
And for those of you out there who own a Wolfgang USA, the chances are that it passed through Sean's hands. You can check the tag.
Yep.
If you see SS on it,
that's him.
John Silas. He's right here with us. And
thank you.
But he's posted a lot of pictures of his days there, which were over a decade, right?
Oh my gosh! Thanks, Caleb, for that. I have so many photos. I have a couple more hard drives that I need to put in the case to actually extract, to put it like on my Mac and then go, you know, onto my terabyte drives. But I know it's way over 1,000 photos. I think I'm up to 400 and something so far on Facebook.
There's probably some things you can't even talk about because of the contracts he signed. But what he did post the other day,
like the astronauts can't stay like what they saw in space. You know, oh, we saw this fleet of UFOs out there. I saw this fleet of Eddie Van Halen guitars. Man.
Well, they can't talk about the surface of the studio. I mean, the moon.
Well, that's a whole other conversation right there.
A different late show for that one.
All right. Anyway, Sean posted a picture of him holding a particular guitar.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he kind of hinted at what that guitar was.
I'll give you a hint.
Is this the original or is it?
There's your hint.
The one thing I did notice is that our very own David Nesdall chimed in.
Yep,
That was most definitely the original.
that's right.
I believe David Nesdall.
I don't have to say nothing, Sean. Dave said it, and I agree with Caleb 1,000,000%.
You know, I love you guys. Okay. And just go with your gut instinct. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Was there like an armored vehicle going along with that particular piece?
Well, you know, it's a trip. You know, I'm a come clean, and I hope I don't get some people like in trouble about it. But when it happened, I pretty much promised that I wouldn't put it on the social media, and that was 2004.
Yeah.
2005 or something like that. So 14 years later, you know, I haven't worked at Fender since. Well, actually, the anniversary of that was the 17th that just passed. So I don't know. I don't think it would matter. You know, it just I probably shouldn't talk that much as far as like the detail.
Mhm.
But Chip, you know, Chip, he's a master. He nailed it. You know, I mean, there are some little things that I didn't even notice that Dave noticed, or actually somebody noticed about. There was a part that wasn't like on the original. I think it was Teddy.
Yeah, the heel.
The heel. And I seen 300 of them, and not all of them are perfect. You know, I mean, maybe, you know, Eddie has the one that's exactly perfect, like the original. But I could say this: the ones that Chip built are, you know, superior compared to the original.
Well, they have. Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it had like a unique, you know, smell to it because it's old. It kind of like reminded me of finding something off the Titanic if I was to go and
Exactly.
Yeah.
you know, something like that, you know.
Think of how many human beings have held something like that, and you're one of them.
Well, what I was going to say, Sean, is like when you, I mean, this might sound weird for anybody who's not a guitar fan or music fan, but I mean, to hold something that, you know, so many songs and things you listen to this day were played on and written on. It's just like you're holding a piece of, you know,
Yeah.
history doesn't cover what I'm trying to say. Like a piece of history, no, that's not it. It's a piece of like
Beyond that, man.
Yeah, beyond. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's like getting the Bandit car, you know, the Trans Am, you know, the T1. You know, that I know there were probably like 4 or 5 in the movie. But
Simon Williams says Excalibur. There you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah. It's
Holy Grail.
It's definitely the Holy Grail, you know, and I had some great memories being in it. But at the time when I first saw that guitar when I was 18, you know, and to actually, you know, touch it, you know, it's like, you know, I can't really explain it, you know. You guys know, you know, it's
yeah, but I think you're right. Like you can't explain it because we might think like, oh, if I held that, we don't know what we would feel like, the emotion that would be going through any of us.
Yeah.
We'd be like, holy crap, this is the guitar that started it all, man. You know.
Yeah.
You can say I know, but really you don't know because you never held it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Giddy.
No.
yeah, the close.
Now here's a question: did you play it? If you can say, if you can't, then
Oh yeah. I think I struck like a D chord, but you know, it was like it has. I mean, it was just old. Yeah, it just felt old. I think it was rusted. You know, like the strings. It was just an iconic thing just to you know, just to experience, you know. But I mean, like I said, you know, I don't know if you guys played the copies, but the copies were pretty amazing. I mean, I think
I've never touched one of those.
Okay.
Me neither. Johnny did.
I played one.
Yeah.
I played one, and it was the best guitar as far as playing like Van Halen style,
Yes.
like licks.
Yes.
It was incredible. It was totally.
Was it the neck? I mean, or just the
Johnny told me early on.
The entire
like,
thing.
Yeah, when I first started talking to you, Johnny, you were like, I play one of those, and it was the best guitar I'd ever played in my life.
Well, you know, I mean, Johnny's right. You know, I mean, I play a lot of guitars there, and I think for us, as far as being fans of Eddie, you know, I mean, I was testing that guitar, well, those guitars through a Fender G deck, and I have the video, which you guys seen the video, and that's the G deck, and it had that sound, it had that brown sound, even going through that little amp, you know.
Amazing.
People ask me, what amp were you playing through? I was like, oh, just a little Fender, you know, G deck.
It wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't matter, you know. And then they really nailed it, Chip. I mean, he's a master, you know.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm sure we all do at this point. Yeah. You know, this is how I feel right now.
holding the guitar, exactly.
The show was funny before, but then it got real, like, serious and good. So here's my question.
Okay.
Ever since 1982, that guitar had a 22 fret neck on it. When did he go back to a 21er? That kind of confused me. Why would anybody go back to 20?
I know. That whole 21 fret sucks. I mean, for me.
It's strange.
Because if you bend up to 24, it's like, whoa, you know?
Yeah. You know, that's a really good question.
Whoever goes back, you know?
Caleb just ruined the whole vibe.
No, because I mean, isn't the Kramer neck because of the jump video and the US Festival kind of like the most iconic neck for that guitar as far as we're concerned, you know? And I know he didn't like that neck because it was real wide. It was like an F5 or something.
Jesus.
But
yeah.
An R5. So.
I was gonna say F5. The F5 is like
it's a tornado.
Brock Lesnar's finishing move.
Yeah. Always a wrestling reference.
Yeah.
I mean that would be my question. Like when and why did he go back to 21? Did he think that it would make it seem more vintage? You know.
What songs would you guys think that he would have played to use that extra fret?
Well,
that's what I'm thinking right now.
Well, I know that, you know, I mean, he'd always do his live solo. He'd end with that, you know, all the way up. You know, and someone backstage is tuning that little.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you guys this. This.
Uh-oh. Loving where we're going here.
It's gonna be good.
No,
Beane exclusive.
When I had the opportunity to meet Ed, you know, and I shook his hand. His hands are, you know, monstrous hands,
like baseball mitts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would be a problem for him to bend that note to wherever he needed to go, to 21st fret.
Well, just the 9 fret stretch on Ice Cream Man is enough to drive you crazy.
Yeah, I remember years ago, like, because I have the tab book for Van Halen 1, and I remember, like,
wait, 12?
What? Like, this has to be wrong. This has to be wrong. You know?
12, 19, 12.
Yeah.
One of my favorite solos ever by Eddie, Ice Cream Man. It's got everything. It's got everything. Oh, man.
That sound.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, Caleb knows that's what he's doing for a living now, or well, that's what you're
Not a living yet.
Soon.
Yeah.
soon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you know, man, I wish I could say a bunch of things because I don't know what the policies now because I don't work there anymore. But you know, I really care.
That's your out. That's your out. I'm just joking. I'm just.
Like, another question would be like how long was Frankenstein at the factory? You know.
Maybe just for one day.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know the logistics of the whole thing as far as that go.
What was the reason? Yeah, I mean,
well, Sean, can I ask you? And I know I don't want you to get like, you know, to dig yourself too deep here, but I mean, when you say it was there for one day, like, was there anybody there, like on guard type of thing, like, or was it like, here you go, guys, see you later, you know?
Let me say that Eddie, you trust us.
Hmm.
You know, he wouldn't let the guitar get out of anybody's sight. And there are some key, you know, people that are or was responsible for it. And there's a lot of people at the factory. As crazy as this may sound, there's only like maybe like a handful of people that would know that that's what that guitar is.
Wow.
Yeah, I kind of know where you're going with. Yeah, I kind of know what you mean. In that
Okay.
aspect, yeah.
well, he keeps everything so close to the vest, right? I mean,
Yeah.
No, but no, I think Sean's referring to like the people. A lot of the people that are working on the guitars, they might not know. Like if they see that guitar, they probably don't have any clue what they're looking at.
Mhm.
They're just working on guitars and they don't know what, you know, the history of that guitar.
Yeah, it's a trip. I mean, there are people that do know certain things that's been there for a long time, and that's what they are like accustomed to.
Mhm.
But trust me, like the ones that play guitar, oh yeah, that's you know, and that's not the only guitar. There's actually a lot of different, you know, guitars that were there, you know, iconic, you know, guitars. I can't really tell you exactly. Let's just say that, you know.
Well, Sean, you may or may not have held the Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But if you were to, I guess, have a day with either the Frankenstein or the 5150, which would you choose?
good question.
Frankenstein.
Wow. Okay.
But
Why?
I love the 5150. You guys, it's a trip because I don't know what it was. I don't know if the mojo jumped over from the mystery guitar to the 300 guitars. But every guitar that I tested, they just felt amazing. You know, they all, I mean, I could shred on it. I could do my hammer-ons. I could understand. I don't know if it was a fluke that Eddie happened to put that guitar together like the way it is for it to make that certain sound when you're doing like your hammer-ons.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you know, like when you watch the video, you can hear that sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Like the stars aligned, man. I mean, you know, he knew what he was. He's a tone chaser. Would be that way until he dies. You know, I mean, that's what he does.
Well, tone chaser, or did he get lucky with matching? You know, it's like, oh, holy crap! Like, listen to
yeah,
this.
there might be some luck in there. That's true too. But you know what? I mean, if it didn't sound good to him, I'm sure he would have taken those two pieces of wood and separated them. You know, until he got what he wanted in his head.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know,
guy's a genius.
Yeah. Everything matters. When you're building guitars, every little, you know, solder, I mean, down to the solder, down to the paint, anything could change the tone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for that particular type of guitar, there's paint missing, there's reflectors, there's a quarter there, there's all weird stuff on that guitar. And I think that's what makes that guitar, honestly.
And his hands.
Of course, his hands. Of course, yeah.
His mitts.
His mitts.
There's a famous story when he's playing on, I guess, warming up or whatever, and Ted Nugent was playing with them. You know that story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he does his stuff, and Ted's like, let me check it out, and he plays. Plays it. You guys like, well, what are you using? What's how come I don't sound the same? He's like, it's in the hands. Yeah. I didn't change nothing.
Well, Nuno said the same thing. He's like, he was hanging out with Eddie or whatever, and he, plugged into his rig with his guitar, Eddie's guitar, Eddie's rig. He's like, oh, I'm gonna sound like Eddie Van Halen now, and he's like, and I sounded like me, yeah. It's just.
It's in the hands.
So much that goes into the hands as well.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah. It's on one of my sessions, I think it was with the Hour 11 session when we were doing that album. The producer he goes to my EVH amp and he turns my gain down. Like I think I had my gain like at maybe 8 or 9, and he goes, "I really can't hear your intricate arpeggios or whatever, so let's turn it to 12 o'clock." And I was freaking out. I was like, I can't play like that. He goes, you can play like that, and then he goes, try it. So he goes, just hit the guitar like you're going to hit that thing, hit that, excuse my language, but hit that bitch, hit it, Sorry guys, I just say it like that. But so I did, and I recorded that whole album like that, But when I play live, I gotta at least give it like maybe 1 o'clock.
Dial it back a little bit.
Yeah. So, but I really truly believe, when you hit it a certain way, it's gonna have that sustain, because it's gonna vibrate the strings.
But also, I think the fact that you had a producer that kind of like he heard you play, but then he kind of heard something in his ears, like, hey, I think I can get something else out of this guy. And sometimes that's what it takes for somebody to bring a little more out of you.
You're right. And you don't have to rely on a bunch of gain. And I mean, since I backed up the gain, now I'm more all into the effects thing, and I have a lot of effects going off now. So, but yeah, guys, it's an amazing experience. I wish I could have been around the Rhodes. The 35th anniversary Rhodes on Concord. But I know you guys seen the photos of that with Mike Shannon and Chip when they went to Randy's mom's house to get the specs on that.
I remember that stuff. Yeah,
that was an incredible guitar as well.
I love the whole that one too, man. One of my love Randy, man. God,
it was. John, was it normal weight, or was it heavy or light?
It was heavier. It was heavier because if you notice on the back side of it, there was this tape, this duct tape on the back, flat black tape. And I believe Chip was saying that they put that on there so when they had the guitars on the racks, you couldn't see the guitar on the blackout. It was basically being blacked out where he had his guitar set up, so he could grab it and play it. So, because I was asking him, I'm like, so what's up with the duct tape? That I know that adds weight to it. It felt like it was really heavy, and then he had that super duper, strap that he wore with the spikes on it and stuff. He was just a little guy, what, like 5 something?
Yep, 5'8".
Yeah.
With huge mitts. I remember putting my
those Rawlings, man.
I remember putting my hands in his Walk of Fame hands at the Guitar Center in Hollywood.
Okay.
And just amazed, because I have really and they're the same size,
And Caleb, how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
Yes.
Yeah, Caleb's tall.
Wow. Different.
So you're 8 inches taller than Eddie and the same size hands.
crazy.
It is crazy. But what's weird is like when you watch like them play live or anything, like watch Eddie have a good, it doesn't look abnormal. You know, it looks like, okay, the guy's got some decent sized hands, but it's not like you know.
You know what he always does though, where you kind of notice is he does that thing, you know, like Eddie always does this talking, and he even did it like in, you know, in the Running with the Devil video, you know, he does like, he spreads his hands right before the solo, you know, like he puts his hand up, and then Dave puts his head in to block him.
Hey, pay attention to me.
That's funny. Oh, you guys, I'm sorry. I got something mixed up here. When I was talking about the duct tape, I was referring to Rhodes, his Concorde.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you know, Eddie and Randy are pretty much the same height.
So was Frankenstein, quote unquote, heavy or light or average?
It felt pretty average. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really notice it that much. I mean, it was just different, you know. I mean, it may have been heavier, but man, that was so long ago, guys. That was like,
yeah, it was probably just in a day.
It was probably like a blur, like, whoa, I'm touching one of the most if not the most iconic guitars in rock and roll history.
It's the most iconic guitar in the world.
In my opinion, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though my favorite is the 5150, but yeah.
Eruption was played on that guitar.
It has to be. Really think about it, right? I mean, what one would be right underneath it? What do you think would be number 2, 5150? I think Frankenstein is it. I mean, as far as the whole,
because when you look at like that guitar was two different, you know, guitars. I mean, it was
right
and white with black.
Think of all the different guitars, the great guitarists, and what they've played, and you think Eddie Van Halen, Frankenstein.
Well, for me, 5150 was always like a modern copy of Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Yeah, that's a good answer.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
don't ruin it. Don't ruin my life.
Hi, Jay.
You jerk.
And I always liked the Hot for Teacher scheme better. I just thought that was the coolest stripe scheme.
Hold on a second. I was thinking of this the other day, Johnny, and you might be able to answer this question. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we all know that '84, Eddie had said that the majority of that album was played with the 5150, but also a Gibson Flying V, right? For like Hot for Teacher, and a couple other tracks.
Girl Gone Bad.
Girl Gone Bad. So almost the entirety of that record was played with those two guitars.
Mm.
Yeah, he only recently in a recent interview said that 5150 was a main part of 1984. So it was like a revelation.
So what was up with why didn't he play the 5150, even though it probably wouldn't have had the stickers on it by then, because, you know, whatever. But why wasn't that guitar in the Hot for Teacher video?
In the Jump video. And
yeah, why the guitar, the 84 or the Hot for Teacher guitar.
All right, here's my theory.
Yeah, 1-2 after Kilo. Go ahead.
They were still touring, and they flew back to LA to shoot the video. He didn't come home with Franklin with 5150.
Wow.
Wow. Oh.
Where is it?
And Caleb throws the curveball.
Like that one?
Yeah, I like that. Can I add one?
Go ahead.
To Caleb?
Yeah.
Maybe it was an aesthetic deal. Because it looked like it just looked like it was just crazy looking. This is just my theory. You know, that it just looked like it would fit like in those videos.
Yeah,
I like Caleb's theory better.
Hot for Teacher guitar looks like a toy.
It does. It does.
And especially in that video, the way he's holding it, you know,
Yeah.
Wrap, and he's holding it with the suit on, you know, for the solo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, it's weird. If I were to interview Eddie Van Halen, like those are the questions I'd be asking. Like,
I know.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Why?
I know.
Where was 5150 that day?
Johnny, any idea on this?
Well, I mean, it's It's possible that the guitar was made, you know, for the video. Just something different.
No, because he used that guitar in Jacksonville. It's pictured in like their very first shows. He's on stage.
Yeah. Yeah, he used it live.
You can see an alternate tray table on the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it.
Wait, you're saying that the Hot for Teacher guitar, he used it live.
Hot for Teacher was out early on the tour and then it went away.
There's only like a handful of pictures of him playing that guitar live.
And it's very early in the tour because you can tell that he's in the exact garb that he wore in the Jump video. And there's like, you know, you can tell his hair length. I mean, I'm into all that stuff. So, but something tells me that he really liked the look of the Hot for Teacher guitar, but probably didn't.
Hold on, let me call.
Didn't connect.
Eddie. Why didn't you play the 5150 in the Hot for Teacher video? Eddie?
Hi, David Ennis.
Is this about right? The action? What do you think?
Yeah, I was way up there.
Johnny Beane violin action.
Or slide guitar. Violin.
There's a tray table on that.
Jeez.
Did a good job of these, though, man.
That's a pretty good job.
That's
the relic and everything. Yeah.
You have all three?
No, I just have the Frankie and the 5150.
I just have the Frankie. I got to get the other two.
You know what though? I really wish that the 5150 was the either the 0812 or 5150 era 5150 guitar, because this is the 7 tuner version, and to me that's not.
Another question.
It's not my favorite.
I have another question for Mr. Silas.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, do we have that on here? Dun, 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 dun.
Well, real quick, here's a Frankie, and mine's in better tune than yours, if you can hear.
Look at that.
I got it. Say that again. You have a Mr. Silas.
Oh my gosh. John, did the Bumblebee ever make it into the factory there when they did the art series?
It was buried with
no, I don't think so. I think this is just my theory on this whole thing. I think Chip would actually go to his house during that time to figure it out. Yeah.
Well, the Bumblebee was buried with Dimebag.
Right, but they were already planning those art series guitars on the 2004 tour because they were already making art series guitars.
Mm-hmm.
So that was because December 2004. So that
So that whole tour because he had all the art series, the custom ones that he was doing for each show,
mm-hmm.
and they were already in the works to make the art series, the 3 versions.
I remember those.
Great.
That was quick.
Great.
Yeah.
That neck on that guitar is one of my favorite necks that I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
The art series necks.
Yeah.
But the original Bumblebee, that wasn't one of Eddie's favorite necks.
Or the tone in that guitar.
Yeah.
Just never liked it.
Mm.
But it is still the baddest ass looking of all the Strike guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Dude, when I saw that album cover, or the back of that album, I saw that guitar. That was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
So you think the Bumblebee is the coolest striped guitar that Eddie had?
It is the meanest. It's exactly what Dime said about that guitar. That's how I felt about it.
I felt the exact opposite.
I thought it was the coolest looking thing I'd ever seen.
Oh, John Biel's leaving.
Right,
Producer, how are we going to run the show? He's leaving.
Right.
Producer's leaving.
Good night, John.
Good night.
Hey, on the back of these little guitars, right? It says 2016 ELVH. What's the L stand for?
Loadwick.
Little?
His middle name.
Loadwick.
Oh, Okay, that makes sense.
You know what's funny?
What?
Jeannie and I had you know, because I don't know whoever doesn't know this or whatever, but Ellie's initials are EVH. Ellie Vi Hannon. Vi, obviously Steve Vi.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome, by the way.
We had discussed like, okay, if we end up having another kid and it's a boy, what are we gonna do?
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, oh, Eddie's middle name is as the kid or Wolfgang Ludwig Hannon, you know. And she's like, all right, listen, EVH is cool, but let's come back to Earth. Yeah, let's come back to planet Earth for the
ask her right now.
Jeannie.
There you go, and you got it's documented.
Amanda, yes, I think so, Amanda.
It's
Definitely.
name him Frank, from the guy from Tesla.
Frank, we have to be related somewhere down the line, right?
Right?
You know? I think they're playing, or they did play. They're either playing near me soon, or they did play recently. I was like, Jeannie, we should go. I'm like, yo, we're related, man, and like freak the guy out. Like, get him out of here. One of those guys, and not really give a crap either, because you know I'm a Tesla fan, but it's
really?
Like I saw those guys like in the street, I'd be like, oh my god, you know.
Yeah, Phil does. He actually produced your last album with Phil Collin. Def Leppard.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The thrash metal had a good one. Read that. Wow.
Oh man.
I'm trying to get to the chat here so I can. Oh, you know what was a really cool guitar that it was a treat to hold was on Phil Collins' Pour Some Sugar on Me guitar. It's Jackson.
Mm.
Oh
one.
wow!
Yeah, the sparkly one. Was it
Yes.
sparkly?
Wow, that's cool.
Actually, I'm posing with Phil with that guitar with Joe Williams I used to work with, and Phil's like in the middle, and we're holding. I think he's holding it like this. But yeah.
So Sean, with Phil's guitar, is there anything like when you held it? Was there anything that you noticed about it that like that's weird, or wow, that feels really good? Does he like anything weird with his guitars?
Yeah, he actually likes his necks to be really thick. He calls it the baseball neck.
Oh,
And it's super thick. It's like a. I can't explain.
Does he have huge hands?
Yeah, he has pretty big hands as well.
Was it difficult to play?
It felt weird on the backside, but then after you got
Used to it.
used to it, yeah, it's fine. It's solid. It felt solid, and it's super light because all of his stuff is a titanium or whatever that light metal. That
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be $1,000 Floyd Rose.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Is right. Yep.
I saw the price tag on that when I built one of them. I'm like, $1,000 Floyd Rose, and then I went, you take it out of the thing, and was like, whoa.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, you're on Hysteria. Never mind. Of course.
Oh man, oh, pretty crazy. Oh, and the other guitar I thought was really cool was the guy from Septura. His black Rhodes with all of the stickers on it. I don't know if you guys seen that one, but it was a Rhodes and it had all these stickers, and Chip brought it over. And he goes, "So what do you think about this guitar?" I'm like, "This guitar is weird. All these stickers on it." It's kind of like destroyed it, you know. And he goes, "Oh no, this is the guitar player from Septura." I'm like, "That's cool." And
So what was like? How did that one feel?
that one, that was a shredder. He had that thing, like the action was flat, the neck was flat, and it was super low, and the guitar that I thought was the baddest guitar next to to the Frankenstein was Jason Becker's his PV with all the numbers, the colored numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, going up the neck.
Yes. That's the actual
Was it,
guitar.
was it a PV or a Carvin?
It's a
It's a
PV.
PV.
Was it a PV? Wow, really?
I played that too. I played that
Okay.
at Jason's house. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Johnny.
Wow.
Mhm.
Pictures of Eddie playing it.
When did you play it, Sean?
This was in about 2005, I think, and they were doing they were going to actually have this other production company do his movie, and they brought his guitar, that particular guitar, to the factory because they wanted Fender to build that exact guitar for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But that fell through. They had some other production company do his movie, and that's, I think, Carvin or Kessel or something like that.
Kiesel? Carvin, Kiesel, whatever.
Okay.
There was a company before Kiesel, actually,
Oh,
that made the guitars, and then after that they went to Kiesel.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
But I know the original one where, like, I think the picture of Jason kissing the guitar, I think that's a Carvin. If I'm not, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a different one.
Yeah.
That's a different
Yes.
guitar.
But
but
supposedly that's his favorite guitar.
Oh,
Supposedly. I could be wrong again, but a few of these, Sean, a little Hagar's Beach Bar Rum.
hitting the sauce, man. I'm missing out.
I have a question for Johnny.
Huh?
I have a question for Johnny. Those running shoes by the door, you put the soles like up a little in the middle, or does it just happen that way?
He's got lifts in him.
I gotta
You see the way they're bent?
Oh.
Oh,
Wait.
What's going on back there?
He walks like this.
I mean, do you set them like that? Is that like a superstition, or is that
That was an accident. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no
right there.
way that you put those down and they've landed like that.
Sean, Johnny's going to be calling you later. Hey,
Oh, right there. Yeah. Yeah, that was an accident.
A custom guitar with that logo and coming right down the middle. The speaker logo.
The shoe guitar.
that's awesome.
Johnny's shoe guitar.
non sequitur?
Well, Sean,
Yes.
with all the guitar players that you've met, now you don't have to name any names, but
That's
was
cool.
there any guitarist that you were like, this guy is, as far as like their how they were with the particulars of their guitar? Was there anybody that you dealt with that you were like that was so over the top with how exact and just, Johnny, excuse my language, anal about everything, every little detail, and they were almost unbearable to deal with? Did you ever have to deal with anything like that? You don't have to name any names.
No, actually, none of the rock stars, we never really had an issue because we tried to do it right the first time. Like with Slipknot and I mean with Eddie, I think Eddie was tough, sometimes, but I mean he wanted to be a certain way, and that's why those guitars are the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
But the only bad experience that I had as far as with a customer is there's this one guy that ordered this Jackson, and I think the guitar kept on coming back, and it was a $10,000 or no, it was a $20,000 Jackson. It was so ridiculous. It was over the top. It was like the Liberace guitars. Serious, I'm not exaggerating.
Was this guy like
He wasn't in a famous band. He may have been famous, but
he was just a customer that had a lot of money?
Yeah, he had a bottomless pit of cash.
Sean, you can fess up. It was me. He still has the guitar now.
He sent it back again.
I sent it back, and he's still working on it for me. He has one of my Randy Rhoads Jackson guitars for people that don't know.
Yes,
What this guy was really particular about?
everything. Jay, I'm sorry. Everything. I'm okay.
How many times did he send it back?
It had to have been at least 20 times.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Could you imagine waiting on that guy in a restaurant?
Imagine the food that he got.
Mhm. It was so bad, guys, that every person that touched that guitar, we were like afraid to touch the guitar because we were afraid that something was going to break on it just by just touching it.
Wow.
Oh, there's a fingerprint on it. Come on, guys. What are you doing with this thing over here?
What was the most ridiculous? Again, we don't know who you're talking about. What was the most ridiculous thing? And they all sound ridiculous to me. I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, that he sent it back for. Like, what was his main gripe? 20 times to get something right for a company like Fender and a professional like you is just beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, it was mainly like the paint. It was paint. But it was a trip because I would never touch that guitar. I was afraid of it. I just heard the stories about it, and I was like, you know what, guys, I'm not touching that guitar. And Rob, that would work right next to me, he goes, I don't care. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna take it. I'm like, all right, it's all you. What was that, Caleb?
Is that in your pictures?
No, I was. I didn't want to
do a Google match search to like match the guitar with whoever has it.
Yeah, but yeah.
Wait, don't even take a picture of it.
It was Caleb Rapoport.
Speaking of taking pictures, I remember Joe Williams built this really nice on double neck, Jackson, and it was beautiful. And he brought it from from his area, and he goes, Sean, check this out, see what you think. I was like, man, this guitar is awesome, and I go, dude, can I take a video of it? He goes, oh yeah, I don't care. So, and I took some pictures. I took some video of him playing it in picture still, and then he took a picture of me, and I posted it on somewhere. I think it had to been on Facebook, like in 2007. And one of the
MySpace,
or probably MySpace, and one of the marketing guys comes down, Kurt. He goes, Sean, we totally appreciate how you guys put it out there, but there's just one guy that bought that on double neck with the flames and with the dragon inlays. I'm like, oh yeah, that guitar is awesome. He goes, yeah. He goes, why are you guys playing my guitar?
Whoa.
Ooh.
That's what he said, and me and Joe and all the crew were like, don't this guy know that we have to test these guitars? Like like that.
Let me just give you a guitar without knowing that it works.
Yeah. Yeah. And
wow.
and I was shaking my head, and I'm like, and Joe, poor Joe, because Joe was the one that built it, and he sweated on that guitar because those guitars are they're not easy. Yeah, it's insane.
No, I was saying if they're not perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah.
Oh no, it's cool. But yeah, I looked at Kurt. I'm like, wow. I was like starting to laugh about this, and he was like, I know. He goes, I get a lot of people that don't really understand that when it goes to the line and it gets to the very end, our testers and builders, that our testers, they have to play it. You gotta. I mean,
well, how could you not know that, Sean? I mean, if you love music, obviously, and you're a guitar player and everything, do you not know anything about, quality control? How do you know if something works unless you try it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we don't catch everything still. If it was up to me, every guitar, as far as custom shop guitars, and I know it's not practical, it's like a number thing, is that I would spend at least a couple days as far as the building process and the setup process, because you want to stretch strings and you want to make sure that the neck is going to set, and everything is solid. I had a guy when this other band I was in the early 2000s, and we were going to a studio in Vegas. He owned this famous studio, and this guy bought like Paul Reed Smith's guitars up to yin yang. He had like at least 100
Wow.
Yes. And he was so picky.
Obsessed much?
Obsessed. His son says, he looks right at me in the face. He goes, Sean, my dad has a problem. I'm like, what do you mean, Ben? He goes, come here. I got to show you something. So we go back in the studio. That whole room is like the size of an apartment. It was all PRSs.
Wow.
And he goes, yeah, if you want to play one of these on the songs, you could pick and choose one. I'm like, no, I got my Jacksons. It's cool. But but anyways, yeah, dude. And he was real picky.
Well, you're right about the quality control thing. Like, especially with a guitar that's a certain amount of money. I mean, you got to make sure it's right, because there's a guitar that I sent back. I'm not going to specify any details about it, but I sent it back and I didn't really notice any issues until, playing it for a little while. And then you're like, something ain't right with this thing. At first I was just so excited, and
Get it, yeah.
But the more you're starting to set it up and you're trying to get it right, and it just something was up with it. But it took me a little while to feel it,
Yeah.
So especially when you're paying some good money for these guitars, you got to make sure they're right.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, when they would call us in the back to talk to us because we wasn't hitting like the number for each day, because it was just insane. And I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I'm just saying that when you guys pay that kind of money, you guys work hard to buy those guitars, and I want to take my time. Rob wants to take his time. Nate wants to take his time, cleaning everything all out and make sure everything's cool so we could put the parts in. So there's no issues with that. But if we have to make the number, those guitars, those are the ones that suffer, and some people won't even know that there's something wrong with them until there are people like us, like we wanted to do something with them, change the pickups or whatever, then that's when you're like, wow, why is that like that? I mean, was that rushed because whatever,
I think it's just a strange time that we buy most of our guitars sight unseen.
Yeah, it is. It's like buying a car.
Yeah.
When 10, 15 years ago, I would be like, I ain't buying nothing that I haven't played.
Yeah, you're 100% right, man. Yeah.
Now we're like, it looks good.
Go online and buy it.
Fire.
I've sent back guitars multiple times. You think you're getting a good deal or whatever, and it shows up and damn thing don't even stay in tune.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're all different. They're pieces of wood, and we're buying guitars off the internet. That's crazy.
And we all know if you can walk into a guitar store and there could be two models that are identical on the wall next to each other. You could plug both of them in, even just touching them, playing them, not even plugged in, and they're different.
They're worlds apart sometimes.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, man. So Sean, have you ever dealt with an issue where you're matching bodies and necks or whatever, and you grab this neck, put it on this body, and you're like, wow, this thing just nothing's happening. There's no magic here. Have you ever come across anything like that?
Believe it or not, yes, and believe it or not, it's been with like the Wolfgangs. Sometimes I don't know what it is, but sometimes like the neck wouldn't feel right with the body, and I don't know what the heck it is. I don't know. I mean, like they fit great in the pocket, they're solid, but it's just something about that piece of wood, putting those two pieces of wood together, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do the best I can do to make this guitar work right, and we had a couple of them, come back because of that, because it just didn't feel right, and then they would just take the guitar and then just send the customer like a brand new, different guitar.
Would it be something that you could swap and change that neck and put in a different body, and maybe it would make a world of difference, or are you just like kind of like?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Does it feel different with the two? I mean, if you're obviously playing it and you're listening to it, right? And
Yeah.
Jay's point, you know, if you just swap out and put another neck on it, does that particular neck like that body? I mean, is it just like a trying to get a good match?
Well,
Sometimes.
I don't want to cut you off, Sean, but Mike, to your point, the Chinese maple Wolfgang neck I have back there on my PV head.
Yep.
505, the one right there.
Yep.
I had that one on the striped Mexican Wolfgang body. Right.
Yes.
And then I ended up sanding it down too much because whatever it is, it was too fat. So I sanded it down, screwed it up. Long story short, I put the Mexican ebony neck with the terrible jumbo frets that I can't stand, but that's my personal preference. Back on, and just instantly I was like, oh my God, the resonance that just happens with that piece of wood and that body, even though it felt like, you know, just the maple neck with the vintage stainless frets, I prefer just something about that neck with that body. It's fuller and warmer and you know, just resonates better. So
yeah, sometimes you take a neck off of a body that got like destroyed from us, either, you know, drilling a hole straight through the body for some reason, or some type of mishap, you know, and then we would take the neck off of that guitar and put it on a different body, and it would play like amazingly. It would just be like amazing. So I really believe in that theory and switching necks and bodies. But when you work in a factory type environment and you're like pressed for time and, well, the whole, you know, numbers,
yeah.
That part makes the guitars, you know, suffer. I could usually tell if it's going to be okay. Well,
you're a guitar player. So you have that feel of what feels right in your hands.
Yeah, and it's like when it's bad, it's like taking some rubber bands and putting these rubber bands on the guitar. That's strings.
Here's my last question.
You're awesome, Caleb. What's up, buddy?
I'm 5-year-old. He ain't gonna take no for an answer in 5 hours. There's a certain Wolfgang I really want bad, and that I think about a lot. It's the cream, you know, the Alpine white with the maple neck, and you know they don't make them anymore.
Japanese one?
What's that?
The Japanese?
No, the American.
American, okay.
Okay.
It's you know, it's the one from the 08 tour.
Yeah.
His main guitar.
We built tons of those.
Yeah. You think that like the ones that were made in 08 and 09 would play better than the ones that were made in like 11 or 12? Like, or does it matter? It just depends on the day. Like, you know, were you guys under more pressure in 11 and 12 than you were in 08 or in 09? Like, you know.
No,
there are used ones that pop up every few weeks. There's a used one that pops up.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with them.
Yeah. As
far as the 2008, or because I had the on 2008, it was number 64.
Wow.
And I played that guitar all the way up until I gave it to Gerd.
Yeah.
And I played many Wolfgangs in between that, and they all felt the same, except for some of the bad apples, you know, like we're talking about the necks and all that stuff. Usually, I just thought of something, but I'll come back to that. I would say 90% of the time, if you were to go back and buy one from 2008 all the way up till 2 years ago, you're fine. Just get someone that can set it up for you and get it flat. Set it up to Eddie specs, you know, and hopefully the neck is not over sanded, you know, because that's what I was going to bring up. I just thought about for that part is, you know, sometimes the machine will glitch or whatever, or like the sanders would go too far with sanding the neck on top or the backside, and then that changes the feel, you know. And they check the thickness with the calipers, you know, to make sure, because I mean Eddie is to the T, the thousands, you know, and Phil and all those guys that have their own guitars, Mike Shannon, Chip, and all those guys, they measure it down to the thousands as far as thickness and all that stuff.
Right.
So if there's any, if the guitar doesn't play like how the other 30 or whatever, then there's a problem with something like that. And I just thought about that. I want to throw that out there.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I
There's always that X factor, I guess, Caleb.
What's that?
I said there's always that X factor.
Yeah.
See, now you got me. Now my questions are going. Whose idea was it when it went from with the specials, like the Japanese, the Chinese specials, and then when you moved to Mexico? Whose idea was it to say, you know what, let's just put the jumbo nickel frets on there? Like, what? What do you think? I mean, it drives me nuts.
Since I don't, work there, and I'll probably run into some of those guys, but I think we would talk about this when I used to work there, and it was more of the marketing, world. Like they were the ones that would make the decisions on stuff like that. Eddie, Eddie is Ed. Eddie's
Eddie.
Give Eddie a call and ask. Eddie wants things to be a certain way, and I've heard some rumors on some things. I don't know if I can say that to you guys now. I mean, I don't.
Well, we all know that if anybody has done any research, we all know that the nickel frets are cheaper and they're easier to work on.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. Stainless frets are a pain in the butt. You need like diamond tools and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, it's Eddie Van Halen's guitars. Like,
yes.
I can understand like the standards, maybe putting the nickels on there, but man, like, because then the guitar, the white one here with the black binding, that's a Japanese Wolfgang, and the vintage frets are just, they're just phenomenal on that guitar with the stainless steel.
It's awesome.
And then the jumbo nickels just feel like speed bumps after I play the other one. I can't even play it.
Yeah, and I think when you spend that kind of money on those type of guitars, I mean, sure, I mean, like if they're being made, like overseas or down in Mexico, then they want to make them so they're like affordable, so they can't use all that fancy stuff. But if you want to have all those cool specs that Eddie has, or any of those other artists that have all that fancy stuff on there, you just have to go that route,
pay for.
Yeah. I mean, or if you know some luthiers, you could have them change out your frets. And
but I'd rather pay the extra from factory. You know what? Charge me the extra X amount of dollars to have it shipped to me like that.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And you know what? I love the stainless steel frets. Personally, I don't care how hard it is to work on, because when I was playing in Hour 11, we were like that. I don't know if you want. I hate like using this term, like the new metal sound, but when I was playing so low on B standard, and I love that tone going through my EVH 5150, that gank gank sound, that gank gank. The stainless steel frets made that more predominant. So whenever I'm playing live, I go gank 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 gank. That's like bam, right in my face, and that's the stainless steel fret sound.
Yep.
Some people don't like that sound. I love that sound.
I prefer it.
I love that sound.
And just playing on it, because I mean, when you play a guitar with stainless frets, and then you go to a guitar with nickel frets, it almost feels like there's a restriction. It's like, man, I gotta work a little harder to bend this note,
Yeah. Oh, That's true. I'm sorry, Michael. I just want
I'm
to.
gonna say so much, like so much smoother bending notes.
Yes,
Without doubt.
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll.
All right, man.
This is probably my favorite episode ever. Just having you.
You running out of gas, huh?
That's cool. You look like mine. Or
I could ask Sean questions all day.
I'm on the East Coast.
Well,
It's almost 4 o'clock where I am.
Yeah, I know. Caleb, I love you, but it's kind of weak, brother. Kind of weak.
I gotta be up, dude. I got that kid. There ain't no off switch.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I
I
only
know.
sleep till 10:30, 11 o'clock. So
Yeah.
I'm lucky.
Jay has a method.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have an off switch. My kid has a standby.
how old is your kid?
Keeps those tubes warmed up, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
Great seeing you, Caleb.
Michael, be thinking of you, man.
Thank you, brother.
I wish you could just drop in. That'd be awesome.
All right.
If I could pull it off, I'd be there. It's so out of my control, man.
Understood.
You have no idea how frustrating it is. Next year, brother. Next year.
Well, we'll FaceTime you, all right?
Fun for me and FaceTime me, absolutely.
FaceTime you, for sure.
Cool.
All right, boys. Jay, Johnny.
Good
All
night,
right,
Caleb.
cool, lad.
I'll see
Good
you
night,
soon.
man.
Have a good rest, dude.
All right, so back to the stainless steel frets here.
Yes.
Because I'm curious, man. I just want to know.
Caleb. Yeah, you know what? I mean, think about the fret thing. I remember when I bought this Jackson from the American Music Supply in '98 or '97, something like that, and it had like the thinner frets. And I played that guitar, like I played it to death. And when I started to work at Fender, my frets had like these dips in it from the strings, right?
Yeah.
And I go, hey Mike, I'm Mike Shannon. I go, look, can you help me with this? He goes, oh yeah. So he takes it home and he puts new frets in it. And I didn't tell him what kind of frets to put in there. I thought that he would use the same frets that the guitar came with. So when I get the neck back, I'm like, this looks different. And then I'm like, look at
No.
yeah,
The
he
jumbos.
put the jumbo like soloist.
Oh.
And I mean, I would have been okay. I mean, I'm thankful for for what he did. It just I played that guitar to death with those thin frets, and I mean I'm pretty used to it now.
Do you think they were probably mediums or something?
Yeah, it was probably medium.
Yeah.
It was definitely a difference.
Yeah,
like,
because I have a 91 universe here that has medium, and the 2000 universe back there has the jumbos. And I was just messing around last night, going back and forth between the two, like trying to notice like the differences in pickups, because this guitar has different pickups than that one, like aftermarket ones, and and that one has the stock Blaze 2s or whatever. It's got Evolution and Air Norton.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the second I picked up that one and I was like, the speed bump. It just wow, the jumbos, and it just was almost, I was almost like fighting with the guitar to do things that I would normally do like easily on that. And I know some people love the jumbos, and I get it. Everybody has their own preference, but
Sure.
it's just a completely different, it just.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'd be pissed if I got this refretted and they put jumbos on it.
Yeah, it's a trip, and I mean, like I learned to adapt to it, and but it was a trip because every time I would play my Wolfgangs, and then I would go, like we had this song called Plague, and it was a drop. I think it was drop B. It was way low. I would do the whatever, but I would have to use my Jackson to play that song on, because it felt good to play it on that particular guitar. But then I would go to my Wolfgangs, which I felt at home playing those guitars because of the thin frets and everything. So but I would have to go back and forth, and I told the guys in the band, I go, look, I don't want to play Plague anymore. Why? I just want to play. The other ones were with the other guitar. You know, they're like, what? I mean, they didn't really understand it. I'm like, look,
You're not a guitar player. You don't get it, man.
yeah. So I mean, so I went ahead and took the other Wolfgang that I had, and I had the bridge float. You know, because with that song Plague, when I was playing it like in the studio, I played it on the Wolfgang, and it goes dun 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 brown, you know, it had like that little bend in it. It was because the producer was pushing on my neck as I was playing it.
Whoa.
Yes. He goes, check this out. Let's try this, because I was using the bar to bend it back with my palm, but it was actually messing up my timing. He goes, just focus playing and I'll bend it for you. I'm like, what do you mean? And then he takes the Wolfgang neck, and he pushes on it.
And that's got that extra reinforcement bar in there, right? The titanium. What is in there?
Oh, dude, I can't remember. That's
well, number one, it's quarter sawn, right?
Yes.
So it's
graphite.
Graphite bar in there. Yeah.
There's graphite bars in those necks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it bends pretty good.
So, in other words, it's easier if you're going to break a Wolfgang neck. You're probably going to break it at the where it rests on the body, as opposed to breaking the neck itself.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, they are. You're pretty flexible. So, but anyways, like the whole story of the thing. I mean, I stopped playing that Jackson because it had like the jumbo frets on it. I mean, I could play it now. It's not a big deal because I'm not playing like the Wolfgangs anymore. I don't have any more. So I'm able to transverse over to the Jackson, you know. So
Joe Wentz is in here. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Man, I have to be at the studio tomorrow morning. 10 a.m.
That's too early for the recording studio, man. You got to pull Lars at like 1 a.m. with the bathrobe on, you know?
It is. I wish I could roll up in there like in my camouflage pajamas. You know?
What it must have been like to be like, you know, a rock star in that era, like, you know, mid to late 80s, even early 90s, you know, just... You know, are you a Metallica fan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure you've seen, you know, a year and a half in the life of Metallica, where it's like, you know,
yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Okay.
I met Stevie Ray Vaughan down at Tower Records. Got pictures with him, and I actually have me talking on cassette if I can find the damn thing. I asked him to say hello to everybody from the Bronx. It's Stevie Ray Vaughan from Double Trouble, and he said it, which is freaking cool. But
wow,
he signed a magazine I brought down, and he's in a poncho. It's a guitar player, if I'm not mistaken. A poncho on the front of it, and so I asked him if he could sign it. It was in Tower Records. I went through the line twice to talk to him twice, actually. And he's so cool.
Did you pretend like you didn't meet him the first time?
No, actually, the second time I went up, Mike, hi, did you remember me? I was there before. He had no idea.
Hey, I met you 5 minutes ago. Oh, sorry, man. I don't remember you.
But what you were talking about earlier, you know, about experiencing being a musician back then. He's like, okay, I asked him to sign it. He goes, well, let me tell you a quick story about it. And he went into this whole story. He forgot that he had a photo shoot for the front of that cover. Okay. So he gets literally a knock on the door, and here comes the people from the magazine. And he said he was hung over. He didn't remember any of it. So he ran in, found a poncho, put it on, and that is the cover of that magazine.
Wow.
So Google, I guess, I don't know, Stevie Ray Vaughan poncho cover or whatever. It'll pop up, and that's why he was wearing that poncho that day.
Oh, that's some
true story.
Yeah.
Yep. And my point is, most of them don't remember that. Any of it. I mean, that was some crazy days back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, think about it. So how sad is the story, right? He gets himself completely sobered up and ride on that chopper ride to let Clapton, because Clapton was supposed to be on that ride. You know that story, right?
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, it's terrible.
They switched seats, and
wow,
Stevie's gone and Clapton's here, and that's a higher power that decided that, I guess. But just want to throw that out there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I have a story that could be up there with your story, Michael. I broke my wrist, and I had on the cast, and so I had to go to work still, and I was on light duty, and Chip was like, "Hey, Sean, there's a rock star upstairs." I'm like, "Okay, who is it now?" And he goes, "It's John Fogerty from
TCR."
Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, awesome!" So I go upstairs, and he was holding a Jackson. It was a blue Jackson. And I was like, that looks kind of weird on him. Yeah. So anyway, I have a picture of me when I'm like posing with John. And he was telling me the story because he sees my cast, and then he goes, "So what happened?" And I told him what happened. And he goes, "You know what? It was one of the famous songs that he tracked, and I forgot the name of it. And he told me the name of it, but he goes, I was tracking this particular song, and my wife at the time, she pissed me off, and I punched the ceiling, and I broke my wrist. Oh. And I had to play that song like over and over and over, and I was going through the crazy pain, but I got through it. And me and Chip and all the guys that were there, we were tripping out because I'm like thinking, wow, that totally, my cast reminded him about what he went through with that particular song.
About that story. That is crazy, man.
Yeah, that was the most craziest thing, man. But yeah, that was cool. He's a really nice guy too. If you guys ever get it, if you never met him or if you want to meet him, he's a really cool guy.
I've read some stories that he's really down to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never met him, but I met his nephew.
Oh, okay.
His nephew lives in Walnut Creek, the town I used to live in, and he would run sound at a club that I would play at.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Small world right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The Kevin Bacon effect, or what is it called? Where everybody knows everybody. What is it?
The John Biel. What is it?
Yeah, John Biel. Oh, he's sleeping. Wake up, John.
Who the hell's the producer?
The Kevin Bacon something where it's like what how many degrees? What is it?
Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Wow.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
And good night, Amanda. You just said it. Good night, Amanda.
Have a good night, Amanda.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Where it's like, somebody that knows somebody but down the line, somebody that knows everybody's connected
somehow. Well, they always say like you supposedly. I mean, I have no idea. Supposedly, you have like almost an identical twin somewhere on the planet because the odds of it just dictate that. Somebody looks exactly like you, not the same personality, but just looks like a spitting image of you.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Look that up. I don't remember the theory.
I don't want to find somebody that looks like Jeannie.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Wait. Nick Thompson's in here. Nick Thompson. Anybody who wants some awesome guitar playing, go to Nick Thompson's guitar channel.
Killer guitarist.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's probably just waking up because he's like in Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Morning, Nick.
So he's drinking his Nick Thompson tea there, Johnny. Waking up,
Yeah. Yeah.
Aren't you out of that?
Good stuff. Yeah,
Aren't
I'm out
you,
of it.
yeah.
I ran out.
Quick question for you, Jay. In the chat room, did you get a Kiesel yet?
No, and
Any particulars you'd like to share, if
I
possible?
can't really divulge any information yet, but I'm trying to get something in the works as we speak, but I can't talk about it. I don't want to let anybody down.
I'm like on the edge waiting. I'm like,
Exactly. Everybody is. And
But this channel will be the first that finds out about anything, if there is anything.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, are we good?
Yeah, just Nick Thompson has to get a box of tea in the mail for you. I think that's about it, right?
yeah, that's why Johnny's, by the way, it's all Nick, it's your fault. He's cutting this off because he's falling asleep and needs some food. He needs some caffeine.
No. Well, yeah. I apologize. I haven't been able to talk because it's.
Oh, what's up?
I'm right here against the bedroom wall.
It's
and-
late.
and
Oh,
my cutoff is midnight.
Well,
And so
Johnny, can I real quick talk about what happened a couple nights ago?
Sure.
Yeah, I forget. I probably called Johnny on Facebook Messenger, probably around this time, maybe like maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, my time, and I hear Johnny kind of trying to keep it down a little bit. Next thing you know, I hear ding, 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 ding. His phone is blowing up, and I was like, "What's going on over there?" He's like, "It's my wife." She's yelling at me, trying to keep it down. I'm like, "Wow, your phone is exploding."
See, I'm sorry, Johnny. Johnny, see, you have a really good wife because my ex would come in here
and cause a scene.
I'll be playing online with my buddies from work, playing some Grand Theft Auto or something, and she's like, "Why are you laughing so loud? I'm trying to sleep." I'm like, "Get back in the room and go back to sleep."
I'm laughing so because I'm enjoying my life.
Yes, and my friends are like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "That's the baby's mama right there. She's just."
Yeah. Well, hey man, I enjoyed your Grand Theft Auto videos, man.
Oh, I miss that, but I'm on Red Dead now, so
Yeah.
the Red
Oh, wait, my brother-in-law got me that for Christmas, and it's still in the wrapper because I think I know that if I start playing it, I'm not going to do anything else, man. And I'm like, I'm almost worried about putting it in the old Xbox there.
yeah, you gotta it's like in the beta stages right now, so you'll be able to play the story. I think if you played straight, you could play about a week to 2 weeks on the story, and then you're pretty much done with it. And then if you want to go, like online, then you're just pretty much just roaming around and just leveling, hunting and stuff like that. But I heard in March, like by March, they're gonna have all the content in there to where it's,
Well, we got to talk about video games one time or sometime soon because I don't know. I feel like a lot of these games nowadays, man, it's like they release games almost in like beta stages, and they just, day one patch is like, 30 gigs of a day one patch. I'm like, what? It's bigger than the game itself, and that's the patch.
Right. And you guys check it out. This is such, if you ever could like invest into a game and it's a hit, you could spend the money to build a game that would cost you $50 or whatever. But I mean, once the game is a hit, people love spending your money in the game to get and then like that one game that costs $50, it could cost $300. I mean, I know in my Grand Theft Auto, my character is level 5, almost 500 and something, and I bought him. Like I bought the game when my son was born in 2013, so I've been playing that game all the way up until Red Dead came out, in October, and I bought the cards, like the shark cards, and I know that my character, I've probably invested at least $500 in that character.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's a company who put out a game with a lot of replay value.
Yes.
And just a great game in general. And now I feel it's almost like you go back to the whole numbers thing with the car company. It's like, you know, you have to put out a great product. And I think a lot of them just see the bottom line.
Well, it's like that's the whole thing. It's like it's a big picture, right? I mean, when you buy these consoles, they're not cheap. Don't get me wrong, but they literally take a loss with the console.
Yeah,
Then
they see you like, okay, they're going to pay for the either Xbox Live, PS Plus,
exactly,
and the games, and then the DLC and all that stuff. So like, all right, we'll get them in the door.
Exit. There you go. Let me give them the gateway drug. Here's the console. And now here's your games.
That's why at this point where like the stuff that I'm involved in is whether it be mixing, editing, playing guitar. I mean, this stuff takes a lot of time, and especially, you know, Sean, you know, with a kid, like you only have a certain amount of time to do things. And I feel like when I play a video game, that's all I want to do is play that game. So
I just picked the for Christmas.
Yeah, I bought.
I bought one
too, man.
Let me tell you right now, not good.
Well, you know what?
Not good.
I have not bought that yet because I knew it. If I was to buy that Switch, I would get the Zelda because I played, you know, Zelda back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Stay away. Stay away. You got enough going on. Stay away.
Yeah. Yes. I can tell that you guys are like me. We are like a bunch of gamers from the 80s.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And I had the Atari 2600, 5200.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and I even went to school to build games, and I didn't go that far into it because it turned out to be like a rat race, and like who you know, like getting into the guitar manufacturer business. You know, I mean, someone would have to literally die, or they would have to expand for you to get in there. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that world. So, but I love playing them. I've loved playing them since I was a kid.
Joe Wentz has a quick question for you, Sean, real quick. He wants to know, how many drones do you have right now?
Well, professionally, I have just the 2. But I do have maybe about four or five of them. But the 2 professional ones, they're pretty high end, which you know, Michael, about that. And I'm planning on
getting paid again. I might reach out to you just so you know.
Oh, you know, if that, I mean, not if, but when that happens,
we'll talk. We'll talk.
Yes, because I have to buy like another drum because I'm going to be getting into tower surveying. What's
that exactly? So I don't know. So
yeah, it's okay. Well, you know, like the cell phone towers and the radio towers and all that stuff. Well, they need, you know, guys to go up there with their drones to inspect.
Inspect the equipment.
Yeah. So yes, and I have a really good friend of mine that I've known forever. He has his own tower business that he's actually contracted to, like with Edison and then all that stuff, to build parts of the tower, to inspect the towers. And I happened to call him, like, actually I sent him a text. I go, hey, how's it going, man? And I go, if he ever needs some drone service, you know, I'm trying to get this thing going. And he goes, man, I was thinking about you like a couple months ago. I was going to call you, but I'm waiting for the contracts to be finalized or something like that. And he goes, we will for sure talk like that, because that's like the big thing now is having drone pilots inspect these towers and all that.
You guys mind if I be a jerk? I'm trying to find the snoring button on this sound.
I know, right?
With the video games, that I was going to ask him a video game question.
Hey, we're allowed to geek out.
I know what I was going to ask. I was going to say, when I first started listening to, well, not first, but a couple months after I started listening to Johnny and Dave, Johnny went on a vacation, and he was doing his daily vlog or videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember listening one night, and I don't know if it was me or somebody else asked Johnny about, you know, I'm talking about Johnny like he's not even here listening.
I know. I'm here, but I can't talk. I can't talk.
Johnny's like a mouse in the house right now, you know.
Don't tell Johnny I said this, but you know. He was saying how like when he like every move that he's had, like his games get lost in every move. It's like, oh, I was playing this game, I moved, and then it was gone.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
You know, I've been having somewhat of that problem because of my son. My son's turning out to be like me, a gamer.
Yeah.
And he's only 5 years old, and I have to really, really, really watch him because being 5 years old, he's playing games with these guys, you know. So, but anyways, with that being said, he would go and play all these different games, and when he started, he would put the games in the wrong case. And I go, okay, Jaden, look, the Grand Theft Auto, the World War II, and now the Red Dead have to go in these particular cases. Those are my games. That's Daddy's games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you want to play those games, you come and ask me. Then okay, you can play them, but you have to let me know when you're done, so I put them back in the case. Because I have this one time when it was my Grand Theft Auto 5, it just disappeared. Couldn't find it. And so I was looking for something else. I was looking for a movie, and I happened to pick this right movie, and there it was. I'm like, son. Look. He goes, Daddy, I'm sorry. He even said he was sorry. And he thought he was in some serious trouble. Why? No, son, it's okay. It happens. You know, I understand. But yeah, it's really easy to lose. I blamed a friend for taking my simulator from my helicopters because I used to fly the RC helicopter thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to get into flying airplanes, and I thought that I lent the disc and the radio control to him. And 2 years went by. And I wanted to fly my simulator again because I was getting the drone thing and I wanted to fly again. And I go, look,
you wanted to touch up on your skills.
Yeah, totally. And I blamed him for it. I thought he lost it in a move here and there. And I went into the bathroom. I was looking for towels or something, and there it was.
What? In the bathroom?
In the bathroom up, and because my ex, she probably was hiding it from Jaden. And she puts it up in the weirdest.
And then you feel like a jerk because you were, yeah, oh man.
What do you say when you fessed up to it?
Well,
I found it in the bathroom.
Yeah. He goes, I told you I didn't have it. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'll take you to Islands. We have this restaurant called, Islands.
That's the name of the strip club?
That I can tell you some strip club. I won't do that.
That's for the after show.
After show. I've never been to a strip club until I went on tour. That was the first tour. But anyways.
They're overrated.
They're very, very overrated.
Oh, overrated.
Anyways.
Johnny, you want to
next.
Yeah. Well, I'm good. I know, Sean, you said you have to be somewhere in the morning.
Yeah, we have to track. A Riot is doing 2 singles.
Oh,
and a video.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yes, on the video is going to be from the song I Can't Follow. It's the one with Charles playing the piano and all that. And the 2 songs, one is like, oh shoot, industrial, and the other one is really intense. And that's it.
Well, Sean, before we split, then let everybody know where they can find you guys and follow you guys and check out any info.
Yeah,
cool. Thank you. Yes, you could go to it's riotmusic.com.
You look very sure about that.
I gotta look at it again.
You don't know about it.
Riot
He's
music.
in a band. Why should he know about it?
Riot music. Hold on.
Go on, let him check.
Riot music. What's going on with my internet?
Well, this is high up all the bandwidth. That's why.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
It's like in high def too. All
John,
right.
John, you could probably drop a link in the video. Sure, right?
I think there is one already in there.
Yes, I think so.
Oh yeah, let me get it. Let me get it. I can actually get it. Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you guys for bringing it up. We've been on a little break, and we were actually supposed to have this stuff done before Christmas because we were going to do like a Christmas thing, but the studio didn't have the time for us to go in. So at that time, but
well, if you ever
need a studio,
no, I was gonna say, well, you're on the different coast than I am, but if you ever need a mix engineer, let me know.
Oh, that's good to know. I did not know you.
Oh God, yeah, kidding me?
I think we did talk a little bit about that actually.
I don't like to overextend myself. I mean, I know the bands. No, being in a band myself, I know that you kind of like have guys that you're comfortable with and work with and stuff, and I respect that totally. So, but I'm saying if something ever happens, or remix or whatever,
it's always out there, Jay.
Yeah, it's always out there. I would never pressure anybody into. Oh, come on, bro. I don't do that crap.
Oh, that's cool. Actually, Jay, that's good that you brought it up because we have our own in-house production where we like compose music and stuff, and it's a lot of work. And I just want to just write the music. I don't want to go through the whole engineering.
Yeah.
So when it takes off, then you would be the guy.
Hey, when it takes off, I'm your man.
Has to take off pretty quick, and that's my bread and butter. Cool. So
Jay has a couple of things coming out, Jay. Since we're near the end of the show, right? You said that the movies. Yeah,
well, I'm going to the Atlanta Days of the Dead Comic-Con, Jesus, horror convention this weekend in Atlanta.
Nice.
And two of the movies that I did music for one of the trailers.
Nice.
And then I did music for the other. There's a second movie, a trailer, and the final credits in the movie. I did the music for that.
Nice.
So both those movies. I think one of the movies is being shown, and the other one, the trailer, is being premiered.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be hanging out with Kane Hodder, Jason Voorhees.
Nice.
So that'll be cool, man. Be a good time.
That's awesome. I did not know that you were in the film industry doing.
Yeah, I don't like to so it's a little different where I can maybe talk about that stuff a little more. And Michael, thank you for bringing it up. But when we're doing the normal show on the Tuesdays and Fridays, I don't like to be in my pants too much. Everybody else's pants.
99.999%, you never ever mention anything. So I mean, why not just put it out there?
And some of my friends were like, "Dude,
John didn't know."
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Jay, you need a hype man. You need somebody else to talk about yourself." I'm like, I don't like to do that.
I'll do it 50%.
50. I'd rather go broke.
It's
5%. 5%. You're a friend.
We are all like that, and then usually it takes our friends and our family to bring it up to our other friends and family, the stuff that we do.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's totally cool, man. I'm freaking impressed, dude, because I work with a lot of art directors, and I just had a friend that just did a movie, he put his own money into it, and it's winning awards. He's doing really good with it.
Wow.
So, but yeah, dude, I would love to hear your stuff, man.
Well, I can send you the links to two of the trailers.
Okay, yeah.
If you'd like to see them,
please do.
I'll message them to you on Facebook.
Facebook,
awesome.
yeah.
So. There you go.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, so I probably should get running because and plus I'll be the one filming the video. I'm gonna take my stuff, my gimbal, and and
is that what is on your counter? It looks like a microscope on your counter over there.
Yeah, this is one of.
I looked like that was over in your kitchen.
It really did look all the way back there, didn't it?
Movie magic. Back in 1960, that's how they made movies. Yeah, on this thing right here is it's called a gimbal, and the way how it works, you take your 32 millimeter, and it clamps in here, and it balances it, so I'm able to run with it, and it keeps it perfectly straight. But yeah, I'm gonna use this to shoot the video because I could do like time lapse. I could program the motors with my phone to actually do its thing, pan and all that crazy stuff.
How heavy is that, Sean?
This is probably about 4 pounds.
You know what's amazing, and anybody that's a horror movie fan of like the original Halloween, the opening scene where it's all like one cut.
Yes.
The camera's crossing the street, almost like from the the eyes of Michael, like child Michael, across the street, goes in the house, around the back, up the stairs and stuff. I remember they were talking about what it took for the cameraman that had like the harness thing.
Yeah.
And I almost want to, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong here, but it was like between the contraption that he had to wear and the camera, it was like, I want to say it was like 70 pounds or something.
It's insane.
And it's like, and the guy wasn't a big dude either. So it's like, he had to do this and like, do the whole scene. And it's just crazy. Like you have that thing right there and you'd be able to do that. No issue at all and not break a sweat.
Yeah. It's a trip how the technology has changed. I mean, I remember the scene from Jaws and probably like The Shining when the camera pans and the whole background pans.
Yeah.
That. Well, they had these gigantic camera dollies to pull the guy back as the camera is focusing on zooming in on the particular character.
So
like on a railroad track.
Wait, so the subject, the person was.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and
wow.
I could do the same thing with this because everything it's all done with the controller right here. I don't know if you can see that, but as I'm zooming in with my dial right here, I'm walking towards the character and I'm zooming out, and that's giving the effect that he's being pulled away from the background, something like that.
And that controls your camera as well, then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
it's crazy right now. It's crazy. So that's like a whole nother episode that we could.
Yeah, well, you have us on your channel for that one.
Yes.
Your show.
Yes, I want to start doing that too.
Yeah.
But,
awesome.
But yeah, guys, it's on guitars and video games, drones and movie magic.
Yep.
We all do it all.
Yeah.
Man, it's awesome.
Johnny, are you allowed to wrap this up or no?
No, you can do it. Let me just say, Sean, great to see you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Yes, for sure. Awesome.
And you guys don't have to whisper. I do.
I just want to like.
You know what it is though? Like somebody whispers and everybody else has to whisper. It's just how it is, Well, everybody, I wanna thank you. I say a thank you to Sean Silas. Very kind of you to join us tonight.
Thank you, Jay.
I'm doing my best Johnny Beane impression, but my wife isn't yelling at me. So, and who else was on here? Caleb Rapoport, Nerd Halen, was with us.
Nerd Halen.
Had a great time with Caleb.
Yes.
Little promo here.
There you go.
There you go. Little Nerd Halen.
Yes. I'm getting one of those on Wednesday.
Yes.
Cool.
And Johnny Beane, everybody, just a round of applause and a thumbs up for Johnny Beane. I mean, come on now.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Everybody in the chat, thanks for see, Johnny, that's why I don't have my own show. You know, I can't wrap up anything.
You're doing pretty good. Actually.
See,
You hate saying goodbye, don't you, Jay?
I hate saying goodbye.
That's actually a song, isn't it?
It's hard to say goodbye. I think that was like my my senior class what was it, graduation song or something from Boys to Men.
Wow.
To say
Thanks everybody for being here in the chat room. Smash that thumbs up, the bell, both of them. This way, you hit the bell, you're gonna get the notifications whenever Johnny goes on live.
Yes.
And there you go. What else?
See, it's not easy. It's not easy because you have to think about everything that happened during the show and kind of just like tie it all into a big bow.
I don't have the mental capacity to do that, so
no. That's
why I'm not Johnny Beane.
Sean, wrap it up.
Sean, wrap this up. Yeah, please help us.
It's going around there. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you. No, I can't do this. I'm like,
Johnny, wake your wife up. Tell her to wrap the show up.
All right. I'll say it. All right, Sean, great to see you, man. I'll see you soon. Michael Smith, awesome, man. Jay Hannon.
Jay.
So you just got to name everybody and say awesome?
Yeah, awesome, cool.
Johnny, shut up. Okay, no, go ahead.
See, I get in trouble for laughing. That's the problem.
See, that's
it's the laugh. See, Sean, you were saying it. Yeah, it's the laugh. You get, yeah. It's all. That's what it is. All right, everybody.
Awesome, man.
Thank you.
Sean Silas, awesome, man. Michael Smith, awesome, man.
All right, we'll see everybody soon. And yeah, NAMM coming up next week. So look for a lot of that. And yeah, all right, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. All right, johnnybeane.tv. Good night.
See you guys.